Look at it, Adam. Feast thine eyes on a sight that approacheth heaven itself.
You've been to a lot of places and you've seen a lot of things, Pa. But you never seen or been to heaven.
Well, maybe I never been to heaven. Maybe I'm never going to get the chance. But heaven is going to have to go some to beat the 1,000 square miles of the Ponderosa.
As long as it's ours. As long as we keep it in Cartwright hands.
Know anyone who could take it away from us, son?
I know those who would try. That Virginia City bunch, if we gave them half a chance. Now, where's little Joe? He's supposed to have met us here. I want a report of those cattle he was supposed to bring down from the north end.
Oh, you'll get it, son. You might have to wait until he's ready to give it to you.
I want that report now.
Well, maybe the best thing for you to do is go find him.
I intend to do just that, Pa. Horse will know where he is.
Adam. Remember, he's your brother.
Well, brother or not, I expect him to do his share, same as the rest of us.
He's a boy, son. Not a man like you. Only thing wrong with him, he's young.
Well, young or not, he's still a Cartwright.
Whoa. Abner, you stand real still now, you hear? You listen to horse. Fidgeting and fussing around here like that. He'll throw you plumb into the next county. You think I can't do it, mister? You just keep on that juggling. Be flying through the air like you was more prairie hen than you're a horse.
He giving you any trouble, horse?
Oh, Pa. You know there ain't no four-legged animal can give me any trouble.
Oh, I know that, son. No, any two-legged one either, for that matter.
Well, I don't know. I remember one little two-legged animal didn't weigh an ounce over 100 pounds, with red hair and all. She didn't give me nothing but trouble.
Well, I wasn't thinking of any girl, son. I was thinking of your younger brother.
Little Joe?
Mm-hmm.
Adam's up the house talking to him now.
You got nothing better to do than play with that.
Never know when I might want to use it.
What chance you gonna have to use an epee out here in the West?
What I always say is, older brother, if a man ever gets that chance, you best be ready for it.
Stand still when I'm talking to you. You're a Cartwright. Do you know what that means?
No, older brother, I'm waiting for you to tell me.
All right, I'll tell you. It means you're supposed to be a man now, fit to do a man's work. It means you got part of the responsibility of running this ranch, same as Pa and Horse and me.
I didn't think I could handle it same as you. I'd quit.
And how do you expect to do it with that New Orleans monkey pick you got handed down to you by your French quarter mother?
If you weren't my brother, Adam, I'd kill you for that.
Well, any time you're ready, little Joe, you can just forget all about us being kin.
Well, you know, that'll be easy. Because I've never been able to see myself being kin to anything whelped out of a thin-nosed, blue-blooded Boston Yankee. You want to fight me, Adam? You make a fist!
Fire him, brimstone! Stop that fighting! Horse, make him stop. Put an end to this shame, this disgrace.
Oh, they don't hear you. They don't mean no disrespect. It's just they're working off a little extra steam, that's all. Don't you worry none. I'll stop them. All right. You boys had enough fun for one day. Let's call it quits. In case you didn't hear me, I said this play-acting business is over, and I mean right now.
Now, you stay out of this. Horse is between me and older brother here.
Now, little Joe, you better quit before I get mad.
Yeah, he'll quit all right, Hoss. He hasn't the guts to take any man-sized punishment.
Sons, don't we have enough to fight? Must we fight amongst ourselves?
Why don't you tell that to him, Pa? Get anything through that rock-bound New England head of his.
Son, are you all right? You're not hurt, lad?
I guess the only way to hurt me, Pa, is to kill me.
I'm sorry, Adam. I'm sorry I raised my hand to you.
Oh, go on, son. It's your brother asking you for forgiveness.
All I ask is for him to do his share. We're running the Ponderosa, not playing with an epee. And that means bringing 1,000 head of cattle down from pastures to the bottomland.
Those cattle, every last head of them, have been grazing in bottomland since this morning.
Don't you josh with me, little Joe.
Oh, boy, that'd be the day anybody tried to josh with you, you Yankee granite head.
Joe, you're telling the truth about those 1,000 head of cattle?
Pa, you know he's telling the truth. He ain't no liar, Pa.
That the truth, little Joe?
That's the truth.
How many head you lose on the way down?
Nary one.
Nary. Did you hear that, Adam? 1,000 head of prime stock down from the high pasture, and he loses nary a one.
Oh, Joe, that's wonderful.
I only did what any poor boy out of New Orleans would have done without even thinking about it.
Well, I didn't know. I'm sorry.
Up, Sing! Where the devil are you hiding, you celestial sky gazer? You got 4 hungry men who want to know what's for dinner.
Yell, yell. Why you all the time have to yell?
Why do I have to yell?
I go away now.
Hop Sing, wait a minute. Hop Sing. Wait a minute, Hop Sing. You can't do that. Why, if you left here, I'd waste away to the shadow. You know that.
You tell the old man he speaks soft, not yell. Then maybe Hop Sing stay.
Paul, I'm powerful hungry. I ain't had but a couple of 3 breakfasts since morning. Besides, Paul, you know as well as I do, old Hop Sing's the best dang cook this side of San Francisco. Won't you go ahead and apologize to him?
Go on, Pa. Horse is right.
Hey, he's right, Paul. We never knew what cooking was like till Hop Sing come here.
Paul, I sure am hungry, Paul. And I can smell dinner.
Hop Sing, very sorry. Very, very sorry.
Get a very good dinner. Roast pig.
Roast pig. Did you say roast pig, Hop Sing?
Roast pig. Very good.
Paul, in all your born days, did you ever taste anything that could match old Hop Sing's roast pig?
Hoss, you going to be able to last till dinner?
Well, it ain't going to be easy, Paul. If I don't get something to eat pretty soon, I'm liable to just lay down right here and die.
Well, before anyone lays down and dies, let's remember there's still some work to do down at the corral. Just so happens this ranch don't run by itself.
Ha!
You don't think very highly of our plan, do you, Hooper?
Look, Troy, this isn't my idea, scheming with an actress. You know what I'd like to do.
Everything all right, Miss Brown? Take the Ponderosa by storm. You know what that would cost us?
Oh, hang the expense. All I want is to get rid of that Cartwright bunch once and for all.
Well, I wasn't speaking of the cost in money, Hooper. I was speaking of the cost in human lives.
Yes. What are you planning on using, Hooper? The United States Cavalry? The last time we planned an expedition to take the Ponderosa, it cost us over a dozen lives.
And Cartwright can assemble 200 of their mounted men within an hour if they have to. Up there in that empire they control, their position's impregnable. As Garvey says, we couldn't get at them with anything less than the U.S. cavalry.
All I know is that the Yellow Jacket needs 1 million board feet of timber a year to keep going.
Well, a Gould and Curry, my dear Hooper, requires 3 million feet a year. I've a 12-foot wide vein of pure silver I can't even explore for lack of shoring timber. I don't think I have to be reminded of the seriousness of our problem.
Well, I can tell you this. Unless I get timber, I'm out of the mining business. If old Ben would only agree to sell us what we need, I'd be willing to pay any price he'd ask.
Well, to old Ben Cartwright, a tree is something sacred.
Yeah.
Something money can't buy.
That's ridiculous. Money can buy anything.
Can it, Aaron? You nor any of us couldn't make the Cartwright sell us one more sapling than they wanted to.
Troy, Do you think this girl can really do it?
Well, this girl, as you put it, Miss Lotta Crabtree, is one of the most renowned actresses and beauties of our time. Conceivably, she might succeed, where the United States cavalry might fail.
Yes, but just by bringing one of his boys to town?
By putting into our hands the one thing that would make Ben Cartwright sell us his trees. A son.
Stay with him, Adam! Come, stay with him, Adam! That's a boy, stay with him now!
Not so much fur, Adam!
Easy on his mouth, Adam.
That a spooky's a fellow about to get himself married!
You're all right, Thunder? You're all right, boy?
You right, Adam?
I'm all right. Let me go. I guess I had that one coming.
That's too good a piece of horseflesh to ruin by bringing along too fast.
What's that carriage doing on the Ponderosa?
Those fools, they should have known better. Do you know where you are?
Yes, sir. Yes, Mr. Cartwright.
Put those hands up. If you put them down before you're told, you're dead, mister.
If you know who I am, then you know you're on the Ponderosa.
I'm sorry about that, but then I guess I must have got lost tracking over them hills.
Don't you kowtow to him, driver, unless you want to answer to me. Idea. The very idea of shooting at innocent, unarmed people, and in broad daylight. Why, if I'd realized that this is the way they treat people in Virginia City, I never would have come here.
Well, this is not Virginia City, ma'am. You're on the Ponderosa.
The Ponderosa? What's that?
The Ponderosa, ma'am. That's the home place of the Cartwrights. They got just about the biggest spread in the country. This here is Ben Cartwright, and these is his sons.
And we don't cotton to strangers, male or female. What's your business here?
My business? Am I still in United States territory?
Well, that you are, ma'am, but I wouldn't go trading on it too much if I was you.
Well, you're not me. And I wish you'd put that awful thing down.
Yes, sir.
Hey, what's the matter with you? Haven't you ever seen a lady before?
No, ma'am. I mean, not such a pretty one. Not in a long time.
You're still pointing that gun at me, you know.
I might still intend to use it.
Put it away, son. Maybe they really did lose their way.
Well, as long as they get off the Ponderosa.
It appears we're going to need some help if you expect us to honor that request.
I'll be happy to oblige, ma'am.
It's a relief to know that even here a lady can expect help from a gentleman.
Little Joe, I think maybe the lady would like a nice cool drink after traveling around in the dust and heat.
The lady happens to have a name, gentlemen. Miss Lotta Crabtree.
You mean the famous actress?
I mean the very same.
Be knee-high to a prairie dog. Lotta Crabtree.
Miss Lotta Crabtree.
Hey, yes, yes, ma'am.
Little Joe, take Miss Crabtree up to the house. Let her rest herself while we put this fool carriage of hers together again.
You expect me to ride this horse?
Because either that man will walk a mile of the house. My pleasure, ma'am. Well, you know, I didn't need any help, older brother.
I wasn't helping you, younger brother.
I'll swear. Adam, you reckon you're going to get this thing fixed today?
You'd like to try?
If I did, who'd hold this wagon up?
All right, try that wheel again. See if it'll turn.
Bring her in.
Yes,
All right, now. Get her out of here. Or we'll lose our patience and string you to the nearest tree.
Yes, sir. But what about the lady, Miss Crabtree?
How long does it take to get a gal a cool drink of water?
Yeah, talking about something to drink. If I don't get something to eat pretty soon, I'm liable to get plumb dangerous.
What in fun are you trying to say?
Low speak, all dry up. Why you not come eat?
Because we had something better to do.
You don't mean it's ruined, Hopsy.
All dry up, follow away.
Throw away?
Hopsing invite lady eat a low speak. She say, thank you very much, but she have to go Virginia City.
Virginia City.
Crazy little Joe. He didn't agree to take her.
Take best buggy too. She very pretty lady. Very pretty.
Not alone.
Mister, you've got just 1 minute to tell us all you know about it.
I swear I don't know nothing, Mr. Cartwright.
That minute's running out fast.
Who sent you up to the Ponderosa?
Nobody. I mean, I was just hired to drive the lady up around these hills.
Was it Alpheus Troy? Was it Alpheus Troy hired you? Talk, man, while there's still a tongue in your head.
I couldn't help myself, Mr. Cartwright. I couldn't say no to Troy. I just couldn't help myself.
How much did he pay you?
Alone. You went into that town alone.
Anyone care to ride into Virginia City with me?
Us. Not into Virginia City, not yet. It's exactly what they want. Just the 4 Cartwrights. Well, we'll ride in. But we'll have 100 men riding in after us in the morning if we haven't returned. You alert the men from the North Valley. Adam, you ride out to the settlers on the Tahoe Rim. I'll take care of the men at the sawmill. As soon as we're through, we'll ride into Virginia City. I'll be waiting for you in the Sazerac. If we don't get back by morning, kill him.
Oh! I think we better let him rest, ma'am. We don't want to get him all tuckered out.
I see. It's very considerate of you to drive me, Mr. Cartwright.
Well, most people hereabouts just call me Little Joe.
Little Joe? Well, you're not that small.
I was not that, man. It's my brother Horse is that big.
Yes, he is. But what kind of a name is that for a man? Horse.
Oh, he had some other name when he was born, but then when he weighed in at 50 pounds, when he was just a couple of months old, well, people just forgot the other name, started calling him Horse.
50 pounds at a couple of months. Now, that's impossible.
Impossible, ma'am? I don't think you'd say that if you could have seen Horse's mother.
Isn't she your mother, too?
Who, that big gal? Oh, no. Well, Pa said she stood 6 feet tall on her stocking feet and could punch like a mule. That's how Pa met her. She threw him 2 out of 3 times in a wrestling match.
Oh, she didn't.
No. No, she's a real beautiful woman. Came from Sweden. Pa said she was like a clean, fresh sunrise.
I'm sure she was. Your father was married twice?
Oh, more than that, ma'am.
More than that?
Yeah, older brother Adam. He's from Pa's first wife. She was the daughter of a New England sea captain. Imagine my pa being married to a Yankee.
What's so wrong about a Yankee?
Ma'am, if you don't already know, guess ain't no use my telling you.
Mr. Cartwright, when will we ever get to Virginia City?
Almost before you know it, ma'am. Ha! Come on!
Gentlemen. Spider has just snagged the fly.
Troy, do you think Miss Crabtree would appreciate being called a spider?
As long as she collects her fee of $10,000 for this special performance, I don't think she cares what she's called.
Boogie's yours, ma'am, for as long as you stay in Virginia City.
Oh, that's most gallant of you, little Joe.
Hope you didn't mind the ride too much, ma'am.
I loved it. Fastest 20 miles I've ever experienced. You will stay for my performance, won't you?
I don't know what could keep me away.
Well, I'll look for you from the stage.
After the show, do we have dinner together?
After the show, you ask me then.
Now you know what you're going to do.
Right.
Oh, Miss Crabtree, this is indeed a pleasure.
You sent for me, Mr. Troy?
I'd have come to you, but I was afraid I couldn't crowd my colleagues in that cramped little dressing room. Miss Crabtree, I want you to meet Aaron Cooper of the Yellow Jacket.
How do you do?
Mr. George Garvey of the Diablo.
My pleasure, gentlemen. Your fame is worldwide.
Won't you sit down, please?
Oh, well, thank you. Might I add, so is yours. Oh, by the way, congratulations.
Congratulations? For what? My performance isn't until later.
Well, let's say for bringing that young man into Virginia City.
Oh, is that so difficult? Did you have any doubts?
It isn't easy to get a Cartwright to do anything.
It was just one young man. Didn't you think I was woman enough to persuade one young man to do my bidding?
Oh, enough to do all that, I'm sure. And more. But you see, Miss Crabtree, our task isn't quite finished.
What is there left to do, Mr. Troy?
We want you to persuade that young man to accompany you to your hotel rooms. After this evening's performance, of course.
Of course. Well, how interesting and how unusual. What do I do then? Make love to him?
No, just keep him there. Talk to him. Do anything but keep him there.
He's such a boy. What should we talk about?
Talk about his blasted trees. They've got more than 1 million of them up there on the Ponderosa, and we want them.
Trees? You want trees? I thought you were all Silver Kings.
Trees spell timber. And we need timber, Miss Crabtree, desperately, to keep our minds going. You see, the deeper the veins go into the earth, the richer, the purer the silver. But without timber, millions of feet of it, to support our tunnels and our shafts, there's a limit to how deep we can go.
Then it appears I've earned my rather exorbitant fee.
Get that boy up into your room tonight, And you've earned another 10,000.
What do you intend to do with him?
Hold him as a hostage until Ben Cartwright gives us the right to cut down his trees.
And what if Ben Cartwright refuses?
The way Ben loves those sons of his, I don't think he'll refuse.
I'll expect another 10,000, Mr. Troy. If you promise not to harm that boy.
It's a friend, Hopling. Put down the war club.
Also much happy to see friend.
Always happy to see you too, Hopling.
How's honorable son, Hop Sing? He cook very good?
Oh, very good. Horse loves him like a brother.
Ah, so very good son. You come from Virginia City all alone? You take terrible risk.
Well, if honorable father just take my horse to the stable, I want to take care of a few little things uptown. You mind, Hopling? For a very beautiful lady.
I have come for to court you, your affections for to gain. And if you'll give me good attention, perhaps I'll come twice more again. No, sir, no. All other answers to him were no. Madam, I have gold and silver. Madam, I have a house and land. Madam, I have a world of pleasure. You can have it all at your command. No, sir, no. All other answers to him were no. What care I for your gold and silver? What care I for your house and land? What care I for your world of pleasure? All I want is a handsome man. No, sir, no. All other answers to him were no. Madam, you seem to boast on beauty. Beauty surely will vanish away. Pick a pretty red rose in the morning, and by noon it will fade away. All other answers to him were no.
Young Cartwright sure didn't waste any time snapping up her invitation.
In his place, I would have done the same thing.
Well, if you had, it'd have been your last supper, too. Aaron, have you assigned proper men to the task?
McCutcheon and Farrell, Yellow Jacket boys.
Excellent. Gentlemen and ladies, I invite you to partake of the pleasures of my Club Sazerac special.
It's open. Come in. Your rose is most beautiful, Mr. Cartwright.
Hardly anything, ma'am. Compared to all these. But I don't think any of them could have been given with more admiration or affection.
That's rather bold, sir. I might almost say wicked.
Speaking of wicked, that was a fairly wicked dance you did out there on the stage.
You didn't like it?
Who, me? Ma'am, I loved every bit of it. As a matter of fact,
Tell me, Mr. Cartwright, your mother was the third wife?
And the last.
What was her name?
Felicia, why do you ask?
I don't know, but you must be very much like her. Where did she meet your father?
Pa took a business trip down to New Orleans. Guess he made out better than he ever figured he would.
New Orleans. I might have known.
Hey, Grandpappy served there under the pirate Lafitte, till he got...
You mean to say your grandfather was hanged? How awful.
Well, it ain't a bad way to go, ma'am. When you're 82. You ever been in New Orleans?
New Orleans. I've been there dozens of times.
Oh, I'd give anything if I could go to New Orleans. My mother used to tell me about it before she died. I can hardly remember now. I was just a little kid, not even 5 years old. I know she used to tell me what a beautiful city it was.
Yes, a very beautiful city. Very old and very gracious. But we'll talk about that at supper.
I got a little place all picked out. Run by a fellow from Paris, France. Come to Virginia City a couple of years ago and pan for gold. And he got so discouraged with the kind of food they dish out around here, he just opened up a little cafe. What's the matter, man? Don't you care for French cooking?
I love French cooking. And I love French wine. Here, let me pour you some. To your very good health, monsieur.
What is it?
They call it champagne. It's the only thing I drink.
Tastes pretty feeble to me.
It'll catch up with you. But then at $50 a bottle, it should.
$50? Well, this stuff's expensive.
Everything I have is expensive. My hats, my shoes, my furs, my gowns, everything.
And money must be very important to you.
The most important thing in the world. That's what enchants me so about Virginia City. I can watch them dig it here, right out of the ground. You don't know how hard I've worked. How many years it's taken to be able to buy the kind of champagne we're drinking now. Listen, little Joe. Why won't your father let them cut down those trees? They'd be willing to pay anything he asked.
The trees? Who wants to know about the trees?
They need those trees. Without those trees, they can't keep their mines going.
And without those trees, we can't keep the land going. You expecting any visitors, ma'am?
I suppose you know what I've done, don't you?
is he? Where's my son?
May I ask you, Mr. Cartwright, to address whatever questions you may have to my friend, Langford Poole. Mr. Poole, as you well know, boasts 12 notches on his gun. Would you care to try for 13?
Go home, Cartwright. Go home before I kill you.
You tell me to go home? You, with the smell on you of the charnel house, of flesh rotting and stinking in the sun?
You gonna die for saying that to me, old man. You gonna die.
You have any argument, Poole? You don't have it with my father. You have it with me.
One Cartwright is just about the same to me as another.
I'm asking you again. Where's my boy?
I don't know. I don't know where he is.
We looked all over town, Pa. There's no trace of him.
Troy, the Lord saith an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. I want my son, Troy. My son, or your life.
You think that brat of yours is in Virginia City, Ben Cartwright? All right. Find him.
I'll find him. With that actress once I know where she is.
You know that, Troy? You know where she is. Now tell me or I'll rattle your teeth.
At the hotel. The International House.
I'll find him, Pa. Boss, you stay here and help Pa keep them seated right where they are. If I don't come back with little Joe, we'll ask some more questions.
They'll be here when you get back at them. One shape or another, but they'll be here.
Yes, ma'am, you sure got expensive tastes. Like the champagne stuff, hats, gowns, and furs. I guess you didn't have much choice.
But you have. They'll kill you, little Joe. You can get out through the window. Please, before it's too late.
Ma'am, I thought we had a supper date together. Gentlemen, may I say that your visit isn't entirely unexpected.
You get out of here!
Crabtree, ma'am, you're a sweetheart.
Crabtree.
Adam. Oh, I'm so happy to see you.
Are you? Where's my brother?
He was here. I'm sorry, Adam. I didn't think this was going to happen.
Well, what you thought or think doesn't interest me, Miss Crabtree.
You're hurting my arm.
I'll break it. Where's the kid?
You don't understand.
Understand what? You and Alpheus Troy?
You don't think much of me, do you?
On the contrary. I think you did your job beautifully. It's not everyone that could lure a young fool kid to his death.
That isn't true. I didn't know they wanted to hurt him. They said it would just be a little trick, a sort of a game. Could I go up into the mountains and make one of you follow me back to town?
For how much money?
Money didn't have anything to do with it. Didn't you just hear me say it was a little game, a sort of a lark?
Oh, I heard you. It doesn't mean I have to believe you.
Oh. Let go of me. Get your hands off me!
Next time, Miss Crabtree, pick on a man, not a boy.
Wait later, I'll live that. All's in trouble. All is in trouble.
He's around here somewhere. We'll go through every shack and tent till we can find him.
Where is he?
Where are you hiding him? That's a big help.
Well, if he's here, we'll find him. 喂，我哋咁正威唔交貨噶咩？你正威有唔好嘅正甩晒我啲衫啊！喂，我咁都污糟晒。
Old man, thank you for keeping me alive. Of course, one day you may regret it, you know.
Where is he? Did you find him?
No, I didn't find him, Pa. I got his horse outside. Found it at the stable. He's still in town.
We'll go on looking for him, Alpheus Troy. And if we don't find him,
We'll try that one next. Inside basket. I cover close. You got anybody hiding in here?
Hide somebody? No, nobody. Me hide nobody. 唔知你講咩嘛？你
Oh, what's the use? Let's turn this place inside out.
喂，佢點解又開？唔啱啦，開咁得嘅開，你拉你哋話，係你整到人哋咁，乜你兩個整俾你拆咗我？係你整到人哋咁，喂你哋咁得話喂，喂你咁啊，我講話喂，喂佢整咩又開？唔啱啦，我講話，喂你哋咁你整咩又喂？喂你冇整過都話冇啊，喂！ 你拉你哋話，我你整咩人？你紅過咁安度拆晒個亂晒，哇！你整咩人？喂你兩個整咩？你拆咗我！
No ticket, no washing.
你拉你哋話，我你整咩人？你紅過咁安度拆晒個亂晒，哇！你整咩人？
All the same, why make the place noise? No can sleep. If he's in there, let's smoke him out. Is this what you've been doing all night?
All night, Pa? I thought I was just getting started.
It's a great pleasure, Mr. Cartwright.
Out! Out, you little rapscallion, before I skin you alive!
I trusted you. I gave you a good life in the Ponderosa. Do you repay me by stealing my cattle?
Do not blame my brother. He but did the word of his chief.
How long have the Paiutes been cattle thieves?
Since the Washoe antelope and deer are gone. Since the pinyon tree burns in the fires of Sun Mountain. Since our women and our children and our braves sit hungry in our tents and sicken without food.
What say you, Winnemucca? The Washoe antelope herds have fed the Paiutes since the long-ago dreamtime.
The diggers of Sun Mountain eat antelope, while the pots of the Paiute are empty.
They are but 3 head, the weakest of the Ponderosa herd. Tukwa cannot see his people starve.
What's the matter with you, Tukwa? The Cartwrights let the Paiute starve? Why didn't you ask us?
The Paiute is a man. He does not beg. Even now, Winnemucca is called woman by my young men around the council fires. Winnemucca is no woman. He thinks of his people. The ways of peace are good ways. But because the Paiute loves peace does not mean he cannot make war.
War brings nothing but wailing in tents and lodges, Winnemucca. For the Paiute and the white man, you and I understand these things.
Does Ben Cartwright disregard the voices of his sons? Even so, Winnemucca hears the words of his young men. They speak for war. They see as I see, that the Paiute walks the same trail as the antelope, and the antelope is dead.
The men who dig in the earth are new to Washoe, Winnemucca. They do not know the ways of the land. My sons and I, we will ride to them and make them understand. They will listen.
The Cartwrights and the Paiutes have long walked the earth together. But if there is war, Ben Cartwright, even the men of the Ponderosa can die.
There will be no war, and no more antelope will die. I will see to it.
Tukwa always speaks the truth. They must indeed be the weakest cattle of our herd. For our friendship, would you drive them off the Ponderosa?
Help you people, Tukwa.
Paul, I don't like all that war talk.
That New Virginia city's full of fools.
You think even fools would know you can't push Indians around?
All they were thinking about was food.
Food is one thing. Destroying the balance of nature is another. Keep this up, the whole of Washoe will become a desert. Saw it happen at John Sutter's, California. All right, let's go.
Where, Paul?
Virginia City.
你啲嘅錢要幾時拎翻嚟俾我？你睇你影啦，叻叻啡啡，周時醉貓又唔做工嘅，老婆老上面睇又冇得食，個個都起死喊嘅，冇用我哋嘅人嘅，周時都冇用，周時係咁做工嘅。
Hey, Adam, you see that little gal smile at me?
Oh, what makes you think it's you she was smiling at?
You know, every time I come in here, I gotta get used to it all over again. Remember when this was nothing more than a jackrabbit run?
Yeah, I don't know what I like the jackrabbits better, little Joe.
Ooh. All right, you two country boys, get your fill of the city. Adam and I'll take a little look around. Come.
Hey, Horse, you ever see anything like this in your whole life?
Yeah, I seen a stampede last fall up in Silver Meadow. The only difference was the stampede made more sense. Come on before you take root.
Looks good, Mo.
Yeah, move over,
Wish
boy.
there was more.
Guess we've seen it all now. The good and the bad.
That's what they call striking it rich.
Looks like all they've struck so far is bad luck. Pretty rough on young ones like that. Howdy.
Howdy.
It's not much of a meal for grown boys.
That ain't much of a meal for anybody, but that's my business, ain't it?
No offense intended, Mr.
Harris. Carl Harris. This is my wife and my boys.
Hello. Howdy.
Howdy. You know, Mr. Harris, you could be feeding those boys beef.
Yeah. If I had wings, I could fly, too.
Mr. Harris, we're the Cartwrights from the Ponderosa. Now, there's plenty of beef in the valley.
I reckon so. All I can do to fork over $10 a pound for that skinny antelope. I couldn't afford beef.
You paid $10 a pound?
And lucky to get it. A man come through last week selling salt pork for $15 a pound. At least this meat is fresh.
We aren't starving, mister. We take care of ourselves.
Well, I'm sure you do, ma'am. You don't have to pay those prices. Well, we market our steers over to Placerville for $25 a head. We'd be making money selling them to you for $20.
$20?
That's right.
Are you joking me, mister?
They're yours if you want them. All you have to do is come over to the Ponderosa and drive them away.
I couldn't do much better than that back home in Kentucky.
Kentucky, you're a long way from home.
I got tired of seeing my family starve on 40 acres of rock. Now, I figured if we had to starve, we might as well do it somewhere where there's a chance of striking it rich.
Well, nobody's going to starve, but we have cattle to sell. Now, get yourself some men together and come over to the Ponderosa.
Well, by golly, we'll do it. Oh, did you hear that, woman? We're going to eat ourselves some beef. Oh, here I am acting like a Yankee. Come on in, have a cup of coffee.
Mr. Harris, you sure don't know anything about us Yankees.
You're Yankees? Oh, I didn't mean
it's all right.
Come on in, have some coffee.
Righty, righty.
Hey, where'd you come from? You're cute.
Hey, now, wait a minute. Lady, you just mind your own business. Come on, lady. Stuff your eyes back in your head. They're about to pop out.
You know, Horse, I could have a good time if you weren't here.
Yeah, get yourself into a peck of trouble, too. Hey, look at that, little Joe.
Let's go. Hurry up. Let's go.
Antelope meat, $10 a pound.
Yeah. Looks like we're raising the wrong kind of stock, don't we?
Come on.
Here, let me try a little, Joe. Excuse me, man. Excuse me. Excuse me.
They must be out of their minds.
How so, friend? Always like to hear the other fella's side of things.
$10 a pound for antelope meat. That makes sense to you?
It depends on your point of view. You see, that happens to be my antelope meat they're buying.
Piutes might argue with you about that.
I haven't seen you boys around. Are you staking out in Virginia City? Mark Burdett's the name.
Joe Cartwright. It's my brother Hoss.
Pleased to meet you. Say, he's a big fella, isn't he? Boys, do you have any idea how many people are heading toward Virginia City right now? Thousands. Yes, sir, thousands. And every blessed one of them with a belly he's got to fill.
Gonna be a bunch of them, huh?
Yeah, ever since they found out about that blue stuff being silver, which assays at better than $3,500 a ton, they're heading here from all over the world.
Silver? All that time Comstock and those other fellows were chucking it away, thinking only about gold.
Gold? Virginia City's gonna be 100 times the strike the mother lode ever was. Now, let me tell you something, boys. There's more than one way to strike it rich. Man can live without whiskey and women and clothing, even shelter. But if he doesn't eat, he dies.
Hey, little Joe, what are you doing here?
Well, I'd like you to meet Mark Burdett. He owns this place.
How proud to meet you, Mr. Cartwright.
Howdy.
It's my brother Adam.
Adam?
Howdy. Got a good thing here, haven't you?
It takes a businessman to know a good business, Mr. Cartwright. Is that what you call it? I could think of another name. You boys sound as if you want to talk. Well, one thing you'll find out about me, I'm always ready to oblige. This way, gentlemen. Here we are. Not very much, but it's a beginning. What I say is let them have their silver as long as I can sell them their meat.
You're charging pretty fancy prices for that meat.
Well, it's the only meat in town, Mr. Cartwright. It cost me a lot to get it.
Liable to cost you a lot more. Mister, you went out and butchered the meat supply of the whole Paiute nation. You're risking an Indian war.
Oh, come now, friend. I have nothing against the Indians. What I always say is fair game is fair game.
Hey, Pa, why don't we sell some of our stock to Mr. Burdett here? And the Paiutes can have the antelope to themselves again.
What stock you talking about, son?
Don't you know about the Ponderosa? We got more prime
Joe.
cattle than...
You have. Real prime beef east of the Sierras. I'll tell you what I'll do, Mr. Cartwright. I'll take all you've got. You can name your own price.
If you charge $10 a pound for antelope meat, what'll you be charging for beef?
All I can get. If you think that's out of line, take a look in the saloon and see what rot-gut whiskey's going for. Or a bag of flour, or a pick and shovel.
I just sold the last sight of antelope, Mr. Burdett. We're out of business.
Not yet, Thorne. These gentlemen are the Cartwrights from the Ponderosa Ranch. Prime beef cattle as much as you want. My assistant, Early Thorne.
How are you, gents?
Well, do we do business?
Why not, Pa? We're in the business to sell cattle.
Mr. Burdett, we have our own way of doing business on the Ponderosa. We pay an honest day's wages for an honest day's work, and we expect the same in return, nothing more, nothing less.
You referring to us, mister?
It's all right, Thorne. Now, let's be honest, friends. I need your cattle. I'm willing to pay you the best price you'll ever get. I have a cold storage tunnel out there full of ice from the Sierras. It's the only ice in town. If you're going to sell in Virginia City, you'll have to sell to me anyhow. I say let's get together. We'll both clean up.
We ain't hurting for customers, Mr. Burdett.
Any miner in town can come up to the Ponderosa and buy all the meat he needs. And we don't intend to profit from his hunger.
Profit from their hunger? You think I was twisting those fellas' arms to get them in here? Every minute they can spare, they use to dig for silver. I'm doing them a service.
My son is right. The Ponderosa is a business. But there's more involved here than profits. I'm sorry, Mr. Burdett. No deal.
Why not? I'm offering you top dollar.
And charging top dollar to people who can't afford to pay.
Maybe you need to take them down a peg.
Don't be foolish, mister.
I told you about your temper. I'm sorry about this, gentlemen. But we can't let it interfere with our negotiations.
Our negotiations are over. I want to warn you again. Stop slaughtering the wild herds. If you don't want a war on your hands, you'll follow this advice. The Paiutes can be unpleasant.
Kill me one of them Cartwrights.
Thorne, when are you going to learn there's more than one way of getting what you want?
Are you sure, Mr. Burdett?
I'm sure.
They'll sell to me before I'm through, but they'll never sell cattle to anyone else.
Hi there, Mr. Cartwright. What do you think of Virginia City? She sure is growing up, ain't she?
Surely is, Mr. Harris. This place is busier than a nest of hornets. Where you fixing to go?
Oh, I got a little digging to do up 6 Mile Canyon. You know, back in Kentucky, I never thought that I'd be living on a mountain of solid silver. Kind of takes a man's mind off other things, though.
About them cut rates.
There they are.
Don't you let it take your mind off those cattle. You get some people together and come on over first thing in the morning. We'll fix you up.
By golly, I'll do that first thing in the morning, and I want to thank you all. That's a real neighborly thing to do.
I bet them two boys make mighty good help when it comes digging, don't they, Mr. Harris?
We sure do.
Yeah, well, they'll be even better when we get a little beef on their bones.
Well, we'll see you. Bye, boys.
You heard what they're fixing to do? Sure. The Cartwrights are going to sell beef direct to the miners.
That'll wreck us, Burdett.
They could if those cattle reach Virginia City.
Want me to stop them?
Well, let's just say I don't look with favor upon any unnecessary competition. If anyone's looking for me, Thorne, tell them I'm investigating the places of the bucket of blood.
Right.
You were just about to buy me a drink, weren't you?
How did you guess?
I suppose I just have a knack for certain things.
I'm sure you have. Oh, isn't there some kind of a rule about women frequenting saloons?
Oh, didn't you know? This is Virginia City. Anything goes.
Exactly my sentiments. How do you? Well, it isn't exactly the Palace Hotel in San Francisco, but it'll have to do.
The name's Glory DeLacy, and it's all right. I've been in here before.
Oh, then you'll know what kind of whiskey to order.
It's all one kind. Lotta.
Now, let's see if you're right. A bartender, a bottle of your very finest.
Why is it that a new mining camp always has the worst kind of whiskey?
The worst kind of women?
That wasn't what I was thinking.
What were you thinking?
That you are the only really beautiful thing I've seen in Virginia City. Why haven't I seen you before?
Just got in town a few days ago.
Well, let's celebrate. Go.
What's your name?
Burdett. Mark Burdett. To Glory of the Comstock Lode.
To the Comstock Lode. They say it'll be the biggest and richest strike in history.
A bonanza. A real bonanza. And I'm going to get my share of it.
You're not exactly dressed for the part.
Oh, you don't think I mean to dig for it like those fellows over there. No, there's more than one way of panning for silver.
Yeah, I know.
No, I didn't mean it that way. Why are you here?
The excitement of a new camp. I don't know. Maybe the hope that this one will be it. Anyway, there's nothing left in California.
This is going to be the biggest thing that ever happened. Make California look sick. I can feel it. And this time, I mean to get my share of it.
How come you never made it in California? Smart man like you.
Maybe I wasn't smart enough. Come to think of it, I could ask you the same question, couldn't I?
Don't.
To the future. When we both have what we want, do you care to drink to it?
As long as you're buying the drinks, Mr. Burdett, I'll drink to anything.
I'm going to be rich. The richest man in town.
Here's wishing you luck.
What I mean to say is that from now on, I don't want anyone else buying you drinks.
You mean you want to take care of everything?
I'm going to take care of everything.
20, 40, 60, 80, $100, Mr. Cartwright, and I sure want to thank you.
Well, you can have more cattle if you want.
That's pretty near all we can afford right now, but as soon as I get a dozen more feet down to my diggings, I'll come back and buy you a whole ranch.
Hey, there comes old Tukwa. Thought he's supposed to be up on the rim.
He's riding like there's some trouble.
Anything wrong, Tukwa?
More new diggers, Ben Cartwright. Too many. Like the trees of the
He ain't
forest.
fooling you there, Mr. Cartwright. I'll bet there ain't a hard rock man left in California unless he's too sick to walk.
Men who chase the mirage.
Maybe so, maybe not. But somebody's going to hit it over there to Virginia City, and nobody knows who yet. Well, my boys have got him. Thanks again, and just wait till them women see a square meal walking in on the hook. Bye.
What's the matter, Pa?
Those newcomers from California. Adam, you double the riders in the rim, we'll start losing cattle.
I go back, tell him.
Now, you've had a hard ride. You're going up to Steamboat Springs Camp for a while. I'll put another man up on the rim.
Probably could have got a lot more than $20 a head for those cattle.
We made a fair profit. That's all the Ponderosa asks.
Yeah, well, what about the other ranchers?
I spoke to the other settlers. They won't boost up their prices.
What do you want more money for anyhow, little Joe? You ain't going no place.
We're eating steak tonight. Get ready.
Remember, I'll take care of the ones to be left alive. Get him.
Don't shoot!
The kids. What are we going to tell the kids?
It's all over town, Thorne. Fever's running high against the Indians. Did you have to kill that way?
Them cattle didn't get to Virginia City, did they?
All right, they didn't, but you could have stopped short of murder.
You know any other way, Mr. Burdett?
The Cartwrights would have come around and have upped the price until they had no choice.
Someday you're going to learn it takes more than money to make a real killing.
Thorne, you're a monster. I never should have taken up with you again.
You need me, Burdett. Remember, we have a murder charge hanging over us back in St. Louis? Or did you forget about that prison guard I killed so you could get to be a free man again?
There you are, 3 kings.
All right, boys, party's over. We got some more work to do.
I thought we'd done enough, Thorne.
No, job's only half done. There's still the other half.
Yeah, what's that?
Town is plenty riled up against the Indians for killing them miners.
Well, they're getting the posse together to go after them.
Yeah, I know. That's why we got to get the Indians stirred up against the miners. That way we put the Cartwrights plumb in the middle.
And what's on your mind?
Killing us in Paiutes. For having massacred those poor, hard-working miners.
Why don't we let the posse go after them?
Because the posse might stop long enough to ask questions, and I don't like questions.
You mean like who really killed those miners? What's the idea?
I told you I don't like questions.
You really are smart, aren't you, Thorne?
Smart enough to know a dead man can't talk. Even to a posse? What's the name of that Indian that works for the Cartwrights? Did you hear me?
Tukwa.
All right, boys, let's get moving. We got to get to him before somebody else does. Get your hat.
The diggers from Sun Mountain. Some of my people saw them as they drove the cattle toward the waters.
Are you sure, Winnemucca?
The Paiute does not lie. The diggers killed the deer and the antelope. They cut down the pinyon tree, and the Paiute has no bread. And now he cuts down my young men.
It's like California all over again. Whatever they touch, they kill.
Why would anybody want to kill Tukwa?
Vengeance, some strange notion of vengeance.
It just don't make sense, Paul. Them miners is all killed with bullets. Paiute use arrows.
I guess he didn't have much chance to tell them that.
What will my young men say when I tell them of their brother's murder?
You must keep them in hand, Winnemucca. Let the Ponderosa find the men who did this.
I am an old man leading 1,000 stallions. Today I can stop my young braves. I do not know if I can tomorrow. We will return for Tukwa.
Now, let's find out who did this.
I know. Who? Mark Burdett.
Wait a minute, Adam. Don't you think you're pushing this a little bit? I know you don't like Burdett, but you heard Winnemucca say some miners did this. Burdett's no miner.
At the moment, he's the only man who stands to make a profit by starting trouble between the ranchers and the miners, not to mention the Indians.
Oh, we've got nothing to go on. If we listen to Adam, we may ride into Virginia City and hang an innocent man.
Well, he has a point there, Adam. We have no proof.
You've met Burdett. How much proof do you need?
Enough to know that we've got the right man. Look, why don't you let me go into Virginia City and snoop around, see what I can pick up?
Alone?
Sure, if we all go in together, everyone will see us. If I go in by myself, I won't be noticed.
Might not be a bad idea, Paul.
Well, maybe. Now, you take care of yourself, little Joe.
Don't let Burdett sell you a half interest in his business.
Might not be a bad investment.
Little Joe, maybe I want to ride in with you, huh?
Of course, I'd be less noticed if I rode down the main street with a couple of wild steers. Don't worry, I'll take care of myself.
How can anybody, even a man like Mr. Burdett, shoot down innocent men just for a few dollars?
Not just a few dollars, Hoss. A bonanza.
Joe Cartwright just rode in alone.
He's taking quite a chance, isn't he, riding into Virginia City alone?
Especially if word gets around that the Cartwrights are siding with the Paiutes.
What do you think would happen to him if it did?
Who knows? Almost anything.
I wouldn't want him hurt bad. I have a feeling that Joe Cartwright and I are going to be friends.
Yeah, good friends.
Hey, kid.
You talking to me, mister?
Yeah, I'm talking to you, you muttering little skunk.
Cartwrights. And they're siding with those murdering thieving Paiutes.
Paiutes? Somebody get a rope.
No, don't do it. He didn't do it, you see? Let him go. Let him go. He didn't do it.
What is all this?
We're gonna hang ourselves an Indian lover.
Nobody's gonna hang this boy.
We got 3 men dead over those Paiutes.
Hey, don't say Joe Cartwright here's any part of it. You started this, you?
Yeah, so what?
So on, you're fired. I don't want to see you around my place anymore. There you go. Take him into my office. Open up, let him through.
What is this?
Anybody want to argue about anything?
Oh.
Did I hurt you?
Oh, I don't think you could hurt me, ma'am. I don't understand. Those miners out in the street, they wanted to hang me. Why?
You don't know? Well, the miners sent 2 groups out to buy cattle. One of them went down to your place.
Yeah, that's right. We sold them about half dozen ahead.
The other went from Gold Hill down toward Carson. They found both groups murdered. Cattle were gone.
What makes them think it was the Paiutes?
One of the miners, a man named Harris, managed to stay alive. He recognized one of the Indians, a fellow called Tukwa.
That's a lie.
Easy, Joe. He said it, not me. Anyway, that's why this Tukwa is dead. They would have hung him anyway.
Tukwa's not that kind of a man. He'd never take a part in anything like this. Mr. Burdett, you helped me out there in the street. I kind of think of us as friends. You can believe me about Tukwa.
No, I don't want to believe it. Drop it.
Drop it? What do you mean?
What I said. It's all over now. This Indian, whatever his name was.
His name was Tukwa.
All right, that's Tukwa. Anyway, he's dead now, and he deserved to die. He took part in that massacre.
But he didn't, Mr. Burdett. Not Tukwa, I know.
How do you know? Young fool, how do you know? I told you, he was identified.
Yeah, that's right. You told me. Thanks for the help. Fella buy you a drink someday, man?
You know where to find me.
I'll find you.
You're pretty nice to that kid.
That's my job, being nice to people.
The paying customers, you mean? He wasn't a paying customer.
And you are, aren't you, Mr. Burdett? You bought me 3 drinks. Or was it 4?
I didn't count. Look, what's bothering you?
You, if you want to know.
What about me? I don't want you fooling around with anyone else, do you hear? I told you I'm going to be the biggest man in this town.
Then God have mercy on this town.
I'm sorry, Gloria. I didn't mean that.
I'm glad you did it. Because now I don't owe you a thing for those 3 drinks.
What's bothering you? You act as though I've done something wrong. What have I done?
I'm not sure. But if it's what I'm thinking,
What are you thinking?
that maybe, just maybe it was you who ordered that massacre.
No, that isn't true. You heard about Harris identifying Tukwa?
I heard you identify him, Mr. Burdett. I didn't hear anything else. I didn't hear Mr. Harris say anything.
Oh, there he is now.
About time. Where you been? We were worried about you.
Sit down and eat and tell us what you found out.
Little Joe, what'd they do to you, boy?
What happened to your face?
Forget it.
Who did it? Now, hold still a minute. Now, who did it?
Some miners at Virginia City. I said forget it.
They beat you like this?
They'd have hanged me if Mark Burdett hadn't stopped them.
Hanged you?
For what?
Being a friend of the Paiutes. They saw Tukwa riding with the men who staged that massacre.
That's a lie.
Yeah, that's what I tried to tell them. But what good it did me.
Who's the one who identified Tukwa?
The only one that came out of it alive, that fella named Harris.
Adam, what are you up to?
We're gonna have a little talk with our friend Harris.
Oh, wait, don't ride in there alone. We'll go with you.
Where have you been?
Staying away. After all, you fired me.
Don't be funny.
You look worried, Burdette. Don't remember seeing you look that way before.
You're saying things. There isn't anything I can't handle.
Sure, sure. Like that girl I seen walk out of here? That one named Glory?
Why do you mention her? She doesn't have anything to do with it.
Oh, she don't, huh? Well, I'm real glad to hear that. Because I just seen her going up to the Harris place.
The Harris place?
Suppose Harris tells her the truth. I thought you and me came to Virginia City to strike it rich. Not stretch her up.
Well, hello, boys.
Hello, ma'am.
You're pretty busy, aren't you?
We are. We're panning for gold, ma'am.
Gold? Does anybody ever find it? Michael, you want anything here? You're Mrs. Harris, aren't you?
Yes, I'm Mrs. Harris.
I'm pleased to know you, ma'am. I'm glad.
I know who you are. What do you want here?
I'd like to see your husband.
My husband? You know my husband?
No, but I must talk with him. It's very important. How is he?
Since he was hurt out there, he does nothing but stare at the ceiling. Sometimes he talks, but mostly he just stares. Carl? There's somebody here wants to talk to you. A woman.
Mr. Harris, there's something I've got to know about that Indian attack.
I thought I was doing the best thing. Coming out west. Better myself. We're worse off here than we were back home.
Mr. Harris. Mr. Harris, I've got to know about that Indian attack.
What do you want to know?
That Indian. The one that rode for the Cartwrights. The one they called Tukwa. Did you see him during the attack?
I don't even know who he is.
Then you couldn't have identified him, could you?
I couldn't identify anybody.
Thank you, Mr. Harris. Thank you very much. Thank you, ma'am. I sure hope your luck changes for the better soon. Goodbye, boys. I sure hope you find that gold.
We will. We just gotta keep on digging, though. She's pretty. Hey, Mike, keep digging. All right. What are they doing to her? I don't know.
We won't hurt you, Glory, but you better go with us. Oh, you. Oh, don't you ever hit her again.
Who's going to stop me, Burdette? You?
Yeah.
They're hurting her. Ma! Ma!
Mike, why are you doing
this?
Keep
quiet.
What is it, Michael?
They're hurting her. Who? The lady had just left the house.
Carl, they've taken that girl away. I gotta get to town, get help.
was just a bare rock farm. Man had to take a chance. His wife, his boys.
You boys stay here in case your pa needs something.
Harris, we'd like to have a talk with your husband.
The girl. They've taken the girl.
The girl? What girl?
I don't know her name. She works in the saloon.
You mean Glory?
You gotta help. They'll kill her.
Mrs. Harris, just try to calm yourself and tell us what happened.
It was that man named Thorne. They were beating her.
Hey, who's with Thorne?
The man he works for, the one that wears the fancy clothes.
2 men beating up on a girl?
They rode out of town. Thorne had the girl.
Adam, I was wrong about him. I'm sorry.
Forget it, younger brother. Well, what do we do about the girl?
We find her. Don't we, Pa?
Yeah, we find her. Come on.
Think I can run away out here? Thanks.
Where's that line shack you were talking about, Thorne?
Should be just over that hill.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh.
I sure would like to get my hands on that Thorne.
You get your chance as soon as we find the girl.
Hoss, you think you can tell which way they're heading?
Paul, if I read the signs right, looks to me like they're trying to make the other side of Devil's Gate.
You think so?
Just the hottest, driest strip of desert in the Nevada Territory.
All right, let's go.
This is Devil's Gate, isn't it, Thorne?
Yeah, it sure is.
Where's the shack?
Just over the ridge.
You sure?
It wouldn't make much difference if I wasn't, would it, Mr. Burdett?
Why don't you kill him, Burdett?
Oh, where did you get that idea?
I thought you were the biggest man in Virginia City. All right. Prove it. Kill him.
Think you can do it, Mr. Burdett?
You're right, Hoss. They're headed for Devil's Gate.
Wait a minute, little Joe. You can't be too far ahead with one horse riding double. Adam, you and little Joe, cut around that hill. Hoss and I'll plug the gap from this end.
Sounds good, Pa.
Come on.
Thorne, I should have known it.
Now, why would I do anything like that, huh? Come on.
There's no shack there. There isn't anything there.
Well, there's plenty of space. Long, dry, hot space. Want a drink, miss? Of course, it ain't none of that fancy whiskey like you used to having.
I don't want anything from you.
Good, because it's exactly what you're going to get.
Is that what you were planning, Thorne, to turn her loose in that desert without water?
She's the only thing between you and me making a real killing partner.
I'm going to kill you, son.
And just how do you plan to do that, Mr. Burdett?
Adam and little Joe found them.
You got a gun, why aren't you using it?
You look worried, Thorne. I don't remember you looking that way before.
They'll kill you, you fool. You want to get killed?
Get her. She got away.
Oh, she didn't.
Use that gun. Use that gun, Burdett!
You knew about me all along, didn't you? I didn't fool you for a minute.
Not very many men fool me, Mark.
I didn't either. That's what's important to me. You saw what a fake I was right from the start.
Not a fake. Just a man reaching for the moon. Or anything else a million miles away.
$1 million. $1 million. Same difference, isn't it?
You coward, you fancy pants coward, you... He ain't good enough to worry about. Let him die. I said let him die.
Let me go.
Come any nearer and I'll shoot her in the back.
Why doesn't he shoot?
Because Thorne can still kill the girl.
Now you clear out of here. Clear out of here!
Hoss, you all right?
Yeah. Oh, he said he had a hard head, Pa.
He's dead. He's dead, isn't he?
Came here to strike it rich, find a bonanza, now he's dead.
He found it. He found his bonanza. He found it just as he died. And that's better than never finding it at all. Isn't it?
Yes, Gloria, it's better. Much better.
One place or another, there'll always be a Mark Burdett. And for everyone like him who makes it, 1,000 will fail. But then, what 1,000 to 1 odds for a man who looks up into the sky and sees a bonanza?
With the dust of the Ponderosa Trail still clinging to their boots, the story glides gracefully, yet dangerously, into the bustling heart of Virginia City, where the siren song of Lotta Crabtree reaches its most seductive and treacherous crescendo. This section of the episode stands as one of the finest examples of romantic tension, intertwined with calculated peril, in the entire Bonanza canon. Little Joe Cartwright, the youngest and most impulsive of the brothers, finds himself utterly captivated by the glamorous actress, stepping unwittingly into a web spun by powerful mining interests. The script handles this descent with exquisite pacing, blending moments of genuine charm, flirtatious banter, and rising dramatic irony that keeps the audience both enchanted and deeply concerned for the young rancher's fate. The journey from the ranch to Virginia City is filled with delightful exchanges that reveal the growing chemistry between Little Joe and Lotta. Riding alongside her carriage, Little Joe shares stories of his family with boyish enthusiasm, painting vivid pictures of Hoss's legendary size, Adam's stern Yankee ways, and Ben's steadfast wisdom. Lotta listens with apparent fascination, her questions skillfully guiding the conversation toward the vast timber resources of the Ponderosa. The writing here is particularly sharp, allowing Lotta to probe without raising immediate suspicion. Little Joe, with his trusting heart and romantic spirit, inherited from his New Orleans mother, opens up freely, never imagining that his words are being carefully catalogued for use against his family. One can almost hear the gentle clip-clop of hooves and the creak of wagon wheels accompanying their conversation, creating an intimate atmosphere that masks the gathering storm. Upon arrival in Virginia City, the contrast between the open skies of the ranch and the crowded, opportunistic energy of the boomtown becomes strikingly apparent. The script captures the vibrant chaos of the Comstock Lode era, with authenticity miners seeking fortune saloons overflowing with ambition, and the constant hum of dreams both grand and desperate. Lotta invites Little Joe to her performance, and he accepts with unrestrained eagerness. The stage sequence, though rendered roughly in the transcript, pulses with life. Lotta's dance and presence command the room, her wicked performance, drawing admiration from the audience, and particular delight from Little Joe. In the golden age of 1960s television westerns, such moments allowed for visual spectacle, while advancing character relationships. And this episode uses the performance to deepen Little Joe's infatuation, while reminding us of Stekavard, Lotta's professional skill as a performer, both on stage and off. The supper scene that follows ranks among the most layered and tension-filled sequences in the script. Seated in an intimate setting with French cuisine and expensive champagne, Little Joe and Lotta engage in conversation that dances between flirtation and subtle interrogation. At $50 a bottle, the champagne flows as Lotta speaks of her luxurious tastes and the importance of wealth, while gently steering the discussion back to the Cartwright's timber holdings. Little Joe, ever the earnest young man, defends his father's principles, explaining that to Ben Cartwright, each tree is sacred part of the living legacy of the Ponderosa. The dramatic irony here is masterful. We, the audience, know the trap is closing, yet Little Joe remains blissfully unaware, enjoying what he believes is the beginning of a genuine romance. The script excels at portraying his youthful optimism against Lotta's calculated elegance, creating a poignant emotional undercurrent. Meanwhile, the parallel scenes with Alpheus Troy and the mining barons add a chilling counterpoint to the romantic supper. In the shadows of their meeting, the true nature of the scheme is laid bare. Lotta has successfully delivered Little Joe into their grasp, and the next phase is revealed: lure him to her hotel room at the International House and keep him there as a hostage. The cold business discussion of $10,000 for her services and the willingness to use a son's life as leverage against Ben Cartwright highlight the ruthless greed driving the antagonists. This juxtaposition between Little Joe's warm, candlelit dinner and the schemer's calculating conversation is pure cinematic brilliance, heightening the sense of danger without disrupting the flow of the narrative. The trap springs with dramatic intensity when Ben Cartwright arrives in Virginia City, searching for his son. The confrontation at the hotel is charged with raw emotion. Ben, fueled by paternal love and righteous anger, demands Little Joe's return. Lotta's room becomes the stage for a tense standoff, with hired gunmen like Langford Poole stepping forward to threaten the patriarch. The dialogue crackles as Ben refuses to be intimidated, declaring his willingness to trade his own life for his son's. Little Joe, finally realizing the depth of the deception, shows both courage and regret. His attempt to protect Lotta, even in the midst of betrayal, reveals the complexity of his character. He is not merely a lovesick boy, but a Cartwright through and through, possessing the family's core values of honor and loyalty, even when wounded. The writing in these hotel scenes demonstrates remarkable emotional depth. Lotta's moment of hesitation, her admission that she did not expect real harm to come to Little Joe, adds nuance to her character. She is neither pure villain nor innocent pawn, but a woman caught between ambition and conscience. Little Joe's quiet dignity, as he faces the consequences of his trust, is deeply moving. His line about still hoping for their supper date carries both tragic humor and heartfelt sincerity, perfectly capturing the spirit of the youngest Cartwright. Adam and Hoss's involvement in the search further reinforces the family's unbreakable bond as they coordinate efforts to locate and rescue their brother. Thematically, this portion of the episode explores the seductive dangers of the outside world intruding upon the Ponderosa's moral sanctuary. Little Joe's fall into the trap symbolizes the vulnerability of even the strongest families to greed disguised as glamour. The script uses his experience to underscore the contrast between genuine human connection and manipulative performance. In the context of 1960s America, when television was reflecting broader societal shifts toward materialism and spectacle, Bonanza offered a counter-narrative celebrating integrity, family loyalty, and rootedness in the land. Lotta's siren song represents the allure of quick riches and fleeting pleasures that threaten traditional Western values. The sensory and emotional immersion in these scenes is exceptional, from the sparkle of champagne glasses to the tense silence in the hotel corridor, from the roar of applause in the theater to the click of a revolver hammer. The script paints a vivid panorama of Virginia City's dual nature, a place of opportunity and treachery. Little Joe's journey from eager suitor to captive becomes a coming-of-age moment, testing his judgment while ultimately reaffirming his place within the Cartwright legacy. As the net tightens around Little Joe, the episode builds suspense with expert precision. Ben's unyielding determination, the brothers' coordinated search, and the growing awareness of the larger conspiracy create a compelling momentum that propels the story toward its more action-oriented phases. This section succeeds brilliantly because it invests us so deeply in the personal stakes before unleashing the broader conflicts involving the Paiutes and Mark Burdett. By the time Little Joe finds himself held against his will, we are fully emotionally committed, eager to see the Cartwright family unite against the forces that would tear them apart. In reflecting upon this chapter, one appreciates how the writers of Bonanza consistently elevated genre conventions through character-driven storytelling. The siren song of Lotta Crabtree does not merely advance the plot, it reveals the hearts of those who hear it. Little Joe's experience becomes a testament to the enduring power of family bonds when tested by deception and ambition. As Virginia City's lights flicker in the background and the desert winds begin to stir, the stage is masterfully set for the righteous fury of Ben Cartwright and the heroic efforts of his sons. The trap has been sprung, but the true strength of the Ponderosa is only beginning to reveal itself. Deep in the opulent yet smoke-filled back rooms of Virginia City, where the glitter of silver dreams masks the darkness of human ambition, the script unveils the true architects of the conspiracy against the Ponderosa. Alpheus Troy emerges as the calculating mastermind behind the scheme. Surrounded by fellow mining magnates whose hunger for timber has pushed them to the edge of desperation, this section of the episode masterfully shifts from the personal romance and deception involving Little Joe to the cold corporate greed that threatens the very soul of the Cartwright empire. The writing here is sharp, unflinching, and rich with moral contrast, painting the mining barons not as cartoonish villains, but as products of their time, men corrupted by the intoxicating promise of the Comstock lode. The scene opens with Troy and his associates, including Aaron Cooper of the Yellow Jacket and George Garvey of the Diablo, discussing their failing operations. Their mines require vast quantities of timber, millions of board feet, to shore up ever deeper tunnels in pursuit of richer silver veins. Without it, their empires will collapse. The script captures their frustration with raw authenticity. Veins of pure silver lie just beyond reach, yet the lack of structural support renders them inaccessible. Troy's frustration is palpable, as he declares that Ben Cartwright treats every tree on the Ponderosa as something sacred, something that cannot be bought with mere money. This moment brilliantly encapsulates the central thematic conflict of the episode, the clash between short-term exploitation and long-term stewardship of the land. What makes this sequence so compelling is the way it humanizes the antagonists while simultaneously condemning their methods. Troy is no mindless brute. He is a shrewd businessman who recognizes that direct confrontation with the Cartwrights has failed before. Previous attempts, including plans involving the United States cavalry, have cost lives and yielded nothing. The impregnable position of the Ponderosa, with its loyal mountain men and vast resources, demands a more sophisticated approach. Enter Lotta Crabtree, the elegant weapon in their arsenal. The barons congratulate themselves on her success in luring Little Joe to town, referring to her coldly as the spider who has snagged the fly. The casual cruelty in their language reveals the depth of their moral detachment. $10,000 for the initial performance, another $10,000 for delivering the boy to her hotel room. These figures are tossed about as mere business expenses, underscoring how little value they place on human life compared to profit. The script excels at building tension through parallel editing in our minds. While Little Joe enjoys champagne and conversation with Lotta, these men are already planning his captivity. They intend to hold him hostage until Ben Cartwright agrees to sell the timber they need. The dramatic irony is devastating. Little Joe's youthful innocence and romantic enthusiasm are being weaponized against the family he loves. Troy's confidence that Ben's deep love for his sons will force his hand reveals both an understanding of human nature and a profound cynicism. In the world of the mining barons, everything has a price: land, timber, and even a father's son. This portion of the episode offers profound commentary on the historical reality of the Comstock Lode era. In the early days of Virginia, city's boom, silver fever drove men to extraordinary lengths. The script grounds its fiction in this truth, showing how the pursuit of wealth often led to environmental destruction and ethical compromise. The baron's willingness to risk lives, including orchestrating the kidnapping of a young man, mirrors the real-life conflicts between ranchers, miners, and native populations during the Silver Rush. Bonanza frequently used such historical backdrops not merely for atmosphere, but to explore enduring questions about progress, greed, and the responsibilities that come with power. Here, the mining interests represent unchecked industrial ambition, while the Cartwrights embody a more balanced, honorable relationship with the land. Alpheus Troy himself is a fascinating study in villainy. He is articulate, persuasive, and coldly pragmatic. His leadership holds the fractious group together, quelling doubts and pushing the plan forward. When one associate questions the morality of using an actress in such a scheme, Troy dismisses the concern with a laugh, focusing solely on results. The script uses these meetings to heighten suspense. Every word spoken in that room tightens the noose around Little Joe. We feel the weight of the conspiracy growing, even as the young Cartwright remains blissfully unaware across town. The contrast with the Cartwright family could not be more stark or more effective. While Troy and his men scheme in shadows, Ben Cartwright teaches his sons the value of honest labor, family loyalty, and respect for the land. Where the barons see timber as a commodity to fuel their mines, Ben sees living trees that sustain an ecosystem and a legacy. This philosophical divide drives the moral heart of the episode. The writers of Bonanza had a gift for presenting such conflicts without simplistic preaching, allowing the audience to draw their own conclusions through the actions and words of compelling characters. As the plan advances, the script weaves in additional layers of tension. The barons assign gunmen to ensure Little Joe remains secured in Lotta's room. The casual discussion of potential violence reveals how expendable they consider human life. Yet even here the writing allows for faint glimmers of complexity. Lotta's later hesitation suggests that not everyone involved is comfortable with the full extent of the scheme. This nuance prevents the antagonists from becoming one-dimensional, making their eventual confrontation with the Cartwrights all the more satisfying. In the broader arc of the episode, this section serves as the pivot point where personal drama transforms into large-scale conflict. The shadows of greed, stretching from Virginia City toward the Ponderosa, threaten not only Little Joe, but the delicate balance between ranchers, miners, and the Paiute people. The script skillfully plants seeds for the coming storms involving Mark Burdett and the Native American tensions, ensuring that the story feels rich and interconnected, rather than episodic. The cinematic quality of these scenes is undeniable. One can visualize the dimly lit room, the glow of oil lamps on maps and ledgers, the clink of whiskey glasses, and the intense expressions of men who have bet everything on silver. The dialogue crackles with period authenticity, blending formal business language with the rough edges of frontier ambition. This attention to detail is what elevated Bonanza above many contemporary westerns, creating a world that felt lived in and believable. As we watch Troy orchestrate his ruthless plan, we cannot help but admire the structural brilliance of the script. By fully revealing the conspiracy at this stage, the writers heighten our emotional investment in the Cartwrights' response. We know the danger Little Joe faces, and we understand the impossible choice Ben will soon confront. The episode transforms from a tale of romantic deception into a larger struggle for the soul of the West. A battle between those who would plunder the land for immediate gain and those who seek to preserve it with honor. This exploration of greed's shadows adds significant thematic depth to the story. It forces us to reflect on the true cost of progress and the ethical boundaries that should never be crossed, even in the pursuit of great wealth. In the context of 1960s television, when America was grappling with rapid industrialization and environmental concerns, Bonanza's message resonated powerfully. The series consistently championed values of stewardship, community, and moral courage, using the Western genre as a mirror for contemporary issues. By the conclusion of this sequence, the trap is fully set. Little Joe is in the hotel, the barons are poised to strike, and the Ponderosa's peaceful existence faces its greatest threat yet. The shadows of greed have lengthened across the Nevada landscape, but the light of the Cartwright family's principles burns brightly in response. As the episode prepares to shift toward Ben's righteous fury and the involvement of other forces, we are left with a profound appreciation for the writing's ability to balance intimate character moments with sweeping thematic ambition. Alpheus Troy and his fellow barons may believe they hold the upper hand, but they have yet to reckon with the unyielding spirit of the mighty Ponderosa and the men who call it home. When the protective instincts of a father are ignited by the threat to his child, few forces in the American West prove more formidable than the righteous fury of Ben Cartwright. In this pivotal section of the episode, the script delivers one of the most emotionally charged and dramatically satisfying sequences as the patriarch of the Ponderosa learns of his youngest son's disappearance and storms into Virginia City like a force of nature. The writing captures not only the explosive anger of a loving father, but also the measured, unyielding moral authority that has defined Ben Cartwright across countless adventures. This is Bonanza at its most powerful, a man of principle transformed into an avenging force when his family is endangered. The transition is seamless and heart-pounding. After coordinating with Adam and Hoss to search for little Joe, Ben rides into Virginia City with the quiet intensity of a gathering storm. The script paints a vivid picture of the bustling mining town at night, lanterns flickering outside saloons, the distant clatter of wagons, and the undercurrent of greed that permeates every corner. Ben's arrival at the International House is electric. He demands answers with the authority of a man who has built an empire through sweat loss and unbreakable will. When confronted by Langford Poole, a notorious gunman boasting 12 notches on his pistol, Ben refuses to be cowed. His voice carries the weight of generations, as he declares in essence that no hired killer will stand between him and his son. The confrontation crackles with tension. Poole threatens Ben, directly warning him to leave or face death. Ben's response is pure poetry of frontier justice. He speaks of the stench of the charnel house of flesh, rotting in the sun, cutting through the gunman's bravado with moral clarity. This is no reckless shootout, but a battle of wills. When little Joe's absence is confirmed, Ben's fury reaches its peak. He confronts Alpheus Troy directly, demanding the return of his son with the unshakable conviction of a father who has already buried 3 wives and will not lose a child to the schemes of greedy men. The line, "My son, or your life," resonates with biblical weight, echoing the eye-for-an-eye justice of the frontier, while revealing the depth of Ben's love. What makes this sequence profoundly moving is the way the script balances Ben's rage with his underlying wisdom and restraint. He does not charge in blindly. He coordinates with his older sons, sending Adam to rally settlers and keeping a measured plan in place should they not return by morning. This strategic thinking underscores that Ben is not merely a furious father, but a seasoned leader who understands the stakes. His love for little Joe fuels him, but his decades of experience temper that fire into something far more dangerous to his enemies: calculated determination. The hotel room standoff brings the personal and the conspiratorial threads together beautifully. Little Joe, held captive, shows both remorse for his naivety and the unmistakable Cartwright courage. His interaction with Lotta in this moment is particularly poignant. Even after realizing her betrayal, he urges her to escape through the window, displaying the chivalrous spirit that defines him. Lotta's conflicted response, her admission that she did not expect real harm, adds layers of complexity. The script refuses to paint her as purely villainous, allowing a flicker of humanity to shine through the deception. This nuance elevates the entire episode, showing that even those entangled in greed can feel the pull of conscience. Ben's fury is not blind rage, but righteous indignation rooted in core values. Throughout the series, he has taught his sons that the Ponderosa represents something greater than wealth. It stands for honor, stewardship, and the right to live free from the manipulations of lesser men. In this moment, that philosophy is put to the ultimate test. The mining barons have underestimated the depth of a father's love. Troy's calculated gamble that Ben would trade timber for his son's safety collides head-on with the patriarch's unyielding principles. Money cannot buy the Cartwright's integrity, and Ben makes this abundantly clear. The historical context of the early 1960s adds another dimension to the power of this scene. Television westerns of that era often served as moral parables for a nation navigating rapid change, industrialization, and questions of ethics in business. Ben Cartwright, portrayed with such gravitas by Lorne Greene, became an archetype of the strong, principled father figure millions of American families admired. His confrontation with the conspiracy resonates because it mirrors broader societal tensions between traditional values and the aggressive pursuit of progress at any cost. The script uses this personal crisis to explore larger themes of family loyalty versus corporate greed, land preservation versus exploitation. Parallel to Ben's search, the script continues weaving in the reactions of Adam and Hoss. Adam's cool intellect and Hoss's steadfast strength provide crucial support, reminding us that the Cartwrights function best as a united front. Their concern for their younger brother is palpable, adding emotional layers that make the rescue efforts feel deeply personal. The family's coordinated response from rallying men on the Tahoe Rim to preparing for potential violence showcases the strength of their bond and their preparedness to defend what is theirs. The sensory details in these scenes are masterful. One can feel the tension in the hotel corridors, hear the creak of floorboards under determined boots, and sense the charged atmosphere as father and son are reunited amid armed threats. The dialogue remains sharp and authentic to the period, blending frontier directness with emotional eloquence. Ben's voice, steady yet burning with paternal fire, commands every room he enters. This is the Ben Cartwright audience's loved, not invincible, but unbreakable in his commitment to family and justice. Thematically, this section deepens the episode's exploration of what truly defines power in the West. The mining barons possess financial influence and hired guns, yet they lack the moral foundation that gives the Cartwrights their real strength. Greed makes men fragile, honor makes them formidable. Ben's fury is not destructive, but redemptive, aimed at protecting the innocent and preserving a way of life. The script uses his confrontation to affirm that some things a father's love, a family's legacy, respect for the land, remain beyond negotiation. As Ben demands answers and refuses to back down, the episode reaches a turning point. The conspiracy, once hidden in shadows, is now dragged into the light. Troy and his associates are forced to reckon with the consequences of targeting a Cartwright son. The stage is set for escalation involving the Paiute people and the ruthless opportunist Mark Burdett. But for now, the focus remains powerfully on the father's unyielding stand. In the golden age of television, few moments captured the essence of Western heroism as effectively as Ben Cartwright facing down corruption to save his child. This sequence stands as a testament to the writing's emotional intelligence. It does not rush to action, but lingers on the human cost of greed and the profound bonds of family. By the time Ben and his sons begin to regroup, we are fully invested in their struggle. The father's fury has been unleashed, not as reckless vengeance, but as a beacon of justice that will guide the Cartwrights through the darkness ahead. The Ponderosa's legacy is under siege, but with Ben at the helm, the forces of greed will find they have awakened something far stronger than they anticipated. The beauty of Bonanza lies in moments like these, where character and conviction drive the narrative. Ben Cartwright does not merely react to the conspiracy, he confronts it with the full weight of his principles, his love, and his hard-earned wisdom. As the lights of Virginia City cast long shadows across the desert, the episode prepares to expand its scope, but the heart of the story remains anchored in this father's fierce determination to bring his son home. As the personal crisis involving little Joe begins to resolve, the script broadens its canvas with remarkable skill, introducing one of the most poignant and socially conscious threads of the episode, the growing tensions with the Paiute people. Storm clouds gather over the Nevada landscape, not from the schemes of Virginia City mining barons alone, but from the deeper conflict between the old ways of the land and the relentless pressure of new settlers and miners. This section elevates the story from a tale of family rescue and corporate greed into a thoughtful exploration of survival, cultural respect, and the fragile balance of nature in the American West. Bonanza was never afraid to tackle complex issues, and here it does so with sensitivity, humanity, and a deep sense of moral responsibility. The transition begins when the Cartwrights encounter the aftermath of desperation. Tukwa, a proud Paiute warrior and friend to the family, is driven to take a few head of the weakest cattle from the Ponderosa herd. The script handles this revelation with nuance and compassion, rather than condemnation. When confronted, Tukwa does not deny the act. Instead, he speaks with quiet dignity about the suffering of his people. The antelope and deer herds that once sustained the Paiute have been decimated by miners. The pinyon trees cut down for fuel and shoring, leaving women and children hungry in their tents. His words carry the weight of a people pushed to the brink. The Paiute is a man. He does not beg, he declares, revealing both pride and profound sadness. At the center of this storyline stands Winnemucca, rendered as Winnemoka or Winnemac in the transcript, the wise and weary leader of the Paiutes. His counsel with Ben Cartwright is one of the emotional and thematic high points of the episode. Winnemucca is portrayed not as a stereotypical warrior chief, but as a thoughtful elder, caught between preserving peace and answering the cries of his young braves who see only injustice. He speaks of leading 1,000 stallions, young warriors eager for war, while acknowledging the long history of friendship between the Paiutes and the Cartwrights. The dialogue here is rich with historical resonance, echoing real tensions between Native American tribes and encroaching settlers during the Comstock Lode period. Ben Cartwright responds with the wisdom and empathy that define his character. Rather than anger over the stolen cattle, he offers understanding and practical help. He recognizes that the 3 head taken were the weakest of the herd, and in a gesture of friendship allows the Paiutes to keep them. More importantly, he promises to ride to the miners and make them understand the damage they are causing to the delicate ecological balance. This moment beautifully illustrates the core Bonanza philosophy. True strength lies in justice, compassion, and mutual respect, rather than domination. Ben's willingness to listen and act as a bridge between worlds reflects the show's progressive spirit for its time. The script excels at showing the complexity of the situation. The miners, desperate for food in the boomtown, have overhunted the wild game, disrupting the Paiutes' traditional food sources. What the settlers see as necessary survival, the Paiutes experience as an existential threat. The writers weave in environmental themes that feel remarkably forward-thinking for a 1960s Western. Ben explicitly warns that continued destruction of the balance of nature will turn the entire region into a desert, drawing from observed consequences in California. This ecological awareness adds depth and prevents the conflict from becoming a simple cowboys versus Indians narrative. Hoss and Adam's reactions further enrich the sequence. Hoss, with his gentle giant heart, expresses discomfort with the talk of war and shows instinctive sympathy for the Paiutes' hunger. Adam, ever the voice of reason, supports his father's diplomatic approach while recognizing the real danger of escalating violence. Little Joe's earlier friendly interactions with the Paiutes, including his defense of Tukwa, reinforce the family's consistent respect for their native neighbors. These layered family perspectives prevent the story from feeling preachy, grounding the moral questions in personal relationships. The Paiute council scenes are written with dignity and cultural sensitivity unusual for television of that era. Winnemucca's internal struggle, wanting peace yet understanding the anger of his young men, is portrayed with genuine pathos. When he speaks of the Dreamtime and the traditional ways now threatened, the script invites viewers to see the Paiutes as fully realized people with a rich heritage, not mere background figures. Tukwa's quiet defiance and loyalty to his chief add individual humanity to the larger cultural conflict. This storyline intersects powerfully with the mining barons' schemes. The barons' hunger for timber directly contributes to the environmental pressure, while opportunists like Mark Burdett later exploit the tensions for profit. The script thus creates a web of interconnected conflicts, showing how greed in Virginia City ripples outward to affect everyone, ranchers, miners, and native peoples alike. Ben's promise to intervene with the miners demonstrates his role as a stabilizing force in the territory, willing to use his influence for the greater good rather than personal gain. In the historical context of 1960s, television Bonanza frequently used its platform to address issues of justice and cultural understanding at a time when America was wrestling with civil rights and changing attitudes toward Native Americans. Episodes like this one helped humanize indigenous characters and critique the destructive aspects of unchecked expansion. The respectful portrayal of Winnemucca and Tukwa stands in contrast to many lesser westerns of the period, reflecting the show's commitment to thoughtful storytelling. The sensory and emotional texture of these scenes is compelling. One can feel the dust and wind of the high desert, hear the crackle of council fires, and sense the heavy atmosphere as warriors and elders debate the path forward. The dialogue flows naturally between English and implied Paiute cultural expressions, lending authenticity without becoming inaccessible. Ben's meeting with the Paiutes feels like a sacred moment of diplomacy, with the vast Ponderosa landscape serving as a silent witness to promises made between men of honor. As storm clouds continue to build, the script skillfully raises the stakes. Young Paiute warriors grow restless, and the threat of war looms. Yet through Ben's leadership and the long-standing friendship between the Cartwrights and the Paiutes, hope for peace remains. This section deepens the episode's thematic exploration of land stewardship, showing that true prosperity cannot come at the expense of others or the natural world. The Cartwrights' willingness to share resources and advocate for balance stands in noble opposition to the exploitative mindset of the mining interests. The genius of this part lies in how it transforms potential tragedy into an opportunity for understanding. Hunger and desperation drive Tukwa's actions, but the Cartwrights respond with empathy rather than punishment. This choice reinforces the moral universe of Bonanza justice, tempered with compassion, strength, used in service of harmony. As the episode prepares to introduce the more villainous manipulations of Mark Burdett, these scenes with the Paiutes provide crucial emotional and ethical grounding. By the end of this sequence, the storm clouds over the Paiutes have darkened the horizon, yet the light of possible reconciliation still shines through the efforts of Ben Cartwright and Winnemucca. The script has successfully expanded the scope of the story, intertwining personal family drama with broader cultural and environmental conflicts. In doing so, it reminds us why Bonanza endured as more than mere entertainment. It was television with a conscience, using the mythic West to explore timeless human struggles with honesty and heart. The Paiute storyline stands as one of the episode's most resonant achievements, blending dramatic tension with meaningful social commentary. As thunder gathers in the distance, both literal and figurative, the Cartwrights prepare to face the next challenges. Their commitment to justice and friendship, tested but unbroken, the spirit of mutual respect between the Ponderosa and the Paiute people, offers a beacon of hope amid the gathering storms of greed and vengeance. Into the already turbulent world of Virginia City steps one of the most calculating and malevolent figures in this episode, Mark Burdett, a man whose ambition knows no moral boundaries. The script introduces and develops Burdett with chilling precision, transforming him from a seemingly opportunistic businessman into the primary catalyst of violence and betrayal. This section marks a darkening of tone, as greed evolves from scheming in back rooms to outright murder and manipulation, setting the stage for the episode's most intense conflicts. Bonanza rarely presented villains as purely one-dimensional, and Burdett stands as a compelling study in cold opportunism wrapped in the guise of frontier entrepreneurship. Burdett first appears in the meat market scene, where the desperate needs of miners create a perfect environment for exploitation. Charging exorbitant prices for antelope meat, $10 a pound, he has cornered the local food supply and shows no qualms about profiting from hunger. When the Cartwrights arrive and generously offer to sell prime beef at fair prices directly to the miners, Burdett's mask begins to slip. His polite exterior hides a ruthless determination to eliminate competition. The script captures his calculating mind perfectly as he realizes that the Cartwrights' honesty and resources threaten his monopoly. What follows is a masterclass in villainous scheming. Burdett does not confront them directly, but begins orchestrating events from the shadows. The massacre sequence is among the most disturbing and dramatically effective in the transcript. Burdett and his ruthless associate, Thorne, orchestrate the killing of miners who had purchased cattle from the Ponderosa. They then frame the Paiutes, ensuring that a surviving witness, Harris, identifies Tukwa. The cold efficiency of this plan reveals Burdett's sociopathic pragmatism. He understands that igniting a war between the miners and the Paiutes will create chaos, weakening the Cartwrights' position and potentially forcing them to sell cattle or timber on his terms. The script does not shy away from the brutality. Innocent men are gunned down, and the fragile peace Ben has worked to maintain is shattered in a single night of calculated violence. What makes Burdett particularly dangerous is his intelligence and foresight. He anticipates the town's reaction, stirring anti-Paiute sentiment, while simultaneously positioning himself as a necessary supplier. When Little Joe tries to defend Tukwa's character, Burdett coldly dismisses the truth, prioritizing his narrative of guilt. His manipulation of Glory Delacy, the saloon woman, further demonstrates his controlling nature. He demands exclusivity while using her to gather information, treating people as tools in his grand design. The script excels at showing how Burdett's ambition poisons everything it touches: relationships, commerce, and the fragile social fabric of Virginia City. The confrontation at Burdett's establishment highlights the moral gulf between him and the Cartwrights. Ben and his sons operate on principles of fair trade and honest labor. Burdett, by contrast, sees the miners' hunger as an opportunity for domination. His cold storage tunnel filled with ice becomes a symbol of his calculated advantage, yet it cannot compensate for his lack of integrity. When Ben refuses to deal with him, citing the moral cost of profiting from desperation, Burdett's temper flares. The script reveals his true nature through subtle cues: the tightening jaw, the veiled threats, and the quiet orders given to Thorne. This is a man who believes money can solve any problem and justify any crime. Parallel to these events, the script deepens Burdett's villainy through his partnership with Thorne. Their conversation after the massacre is particularly revealing. Thorne questions the need for further violence, but Burdett insists on escalating the conflict by attacking Paiutes to inflame the miners further. "A dead man can't talk," he declares, showcasing his willingness to eliminate any loose ends. This level of ruthless pragmatism makes Burdett a formidable antagonist, one who operates with the mind of a chess master and the conscience of a predator. The writers use him effectively to represent the darker side of the American dream during the Silver Boom, where ambition unchecked by morality leads to bloodshed. Ben Cartwright's growing awareness of Burdett's role adds powerful dramatic tension. Adam's instincts about the man prove correct, and the family's investigation brings them closer to the truth. The script balances the personal stakes Little Joe's recent ordeal with these larger machinations, showing how one man's greed threatens the delicate equilibrium Ben has maintained with both miners and Paiutes. Burdett's plan to place the Cartwrights plumb in the middle of a war is devious and believable, raising the narrative stakes considerably. Thematically, this section deepens the episode's meditation on greed versus honor. Burdett embodies the destructive potential of unchecked capitalism in the West. While the Cartwrights seek prosperity through honest work and fair dealing, Burdett seeks dominance through manipulation and violence. His actions against the Paiutes are particularly reprehensible, exploiting existing tensions for personal gain. The script uses his character to critique the way opportunists profited from division during historical boom times, a message that resonated in the socially conscious 1960s. The sensory atmosphere in these scenes is thick with menace. One can feel the tension in the crowded saloon, smell the sawdust and whiskey, and sense the undercurrent of violence lurking beneath the surface of Virginia City's prosperity. Burdett's smooth voice contrasts sharply with the brutality of his orders, creating an unsettling dissonance that makes him all the more chilling. The writing maintains excellent pacing, intercutting between Burdett's schemes, the Cartwrights' investigation, and the suffering of the Paiute people. As the consequences of the massacre ripple outward, with the town forming possess and the Paiutes growing more restless, the script builds toward inevitable confrontation. Burdett believes he has orchestrated events perfectly, but he has underestimated the moral resolve and investigative tenacity of the Cartwright family. His ambition has unleashed forces he cannot fully control, setting the stage for the desert pursuit and final reckoning. Mark Burdett represents a timeless archetype in Western storytelling, the smiling predator who profits from chaos. The script develops him with nuance, showing his charm, intelligence, and complete lack of empathy. His dark ambition stands in stark opposition to everything the Ponderosa represents, making the coming clash not merely physical, but profoundly philosophical. Through Burdett, the episode asks difficult questions about the true cost of progress and the responsibilities that accompany success in a harsh land. This section of the script is masterful in how it expands the scope while keeping the focus on human choices and their consequences. The massacre is not gratuitous violence, but a turning point that forces every major character to choose a side. Ben's commitment to justice, the Paiutes' struggle for survival, and the miners' desperate needs all collide in the web spun by Burdett's ambition. As storm clouds continue to gather, the episode hurtles toward its most action-packed sequences, with the Cartwrights standing as the last line of defense for honor in a town increasingly ruled by greed. The introduction and development of Mark Burdett's dark schemes elevate the episode from personal drama to a broader commentary on the American West. His character serves as a dark mirror to the Cartwright ideal, showing what happens when ambition overrides morality. As the sun sets on another violent day in Virginia City, the stage is powerfully set for the heroic response that will define the remainder of this memorable Bonanza story. In the midst of mounting tension, ruthless schemes, and the gathering storm clouds over the Ponderosa and Virginia City, the script offers a much-needed breath of warmth and levity through the irreplaceable figure of Hop Sing. The beloved Chinese cook serves not merely as comic relief, but as the emotional heartbeat of the household, providing a delicate balance of humor, unwavering loyalty, and quiet wisdom that prevents the episode from descending into unrelenting darkness. This section celebrates one of Bonanza's greatest strengths, its ability to weave light-hearted moments into serious drama, reminding us that even in the harshest frontier conditions, the simple joys of family and home sustain the human spirit. Hop Sing first appears early in the episode during the lively dinner preparations, and his presence immediately lights up the screen. When the Cartwright men return hungry from their labors, the transcript captures the familiar ritual with delightful authenticity. Ben calls out for the celestial sky gazer, prompting Hop Sing's indignant response about constant yelling. The rapid-fire banter that follows is pure comedic gold. The sons plead with Ben to apologize, so their beloved cook will not leave, praising Hop Sing as the best dang cook this side of San Francisco. His exaggerated threats to depart, followed by the announcement of roast pig for dinner, showcase the playful dynamic that has endeared him to generations of viewers. Even in the rough transcript, one can hear the rhythmic cadence of his accented English and visualize his animated gestures. What makes Hop Sing so special is that his humor is never superficial. It stems from deep affection and a genuine place within the Cartwright family. He is not a servant, but a cherished member of the household, treated with respect and love despite cultural differences. When Little Joe and the others cajole Ben into softening his tone, the scene underscores the family's dependence on Hop Sing, not just for meals, but for the emotional glue he provides. His roast pig becomes a symbol of comfort and normalcy amid the chaos threatening to engulf the ranch. In times of crisis, the aroma of Hop Sing's cooking represents the enduring hearth that the Cartwrights fight to protect. As the larger conflicts escalate with Little Joe's disappearance, the Paiute tensions and Mark Burdett's manipulations, Hop Sing's role deepens from comic relief to a quiet pillar of support. The script uses his interactions to humanize the more serious storylines. Even when danger looms, he maintains the daily rhythms of ranch life, reminding the family and the audience that courage and perseverance are often expressed through ordinary acts of care. His concern for the sons, especially the impulsive Little Joe, surfaces in subtle ways, adding layers of tenderness to his fiery personality. One of the most charming aspects of Hop Sing's character is his ability to blend cultural pride with genuine integration into the Cartwright world. He teases the family about their yelling while secretly delighting in their dependence on him. The script beautifully captures this duality during moments when he pretends to storm off, only to be coaxed back with flattery about his unparalleled cooking skills. These exchanges provide necessary breathing room between intense dramatic sequences, allowing the audience to smile even as threats mount. In the golden age of 1960s television, such characters were vital for maintaining tonal balance, and Hop Sing remains one of the finest examples of cross-cultural representation done with affection and respect. The humor surrounding Hop Sing also serves a deeper thematic purpose. Amid the greed of the mining barons and the desperation of the Paiutes, his steadfast presence represents the value of honest labor and cultural harmony. While Alpheus Troy and Mark Burdett scheme for power and wealth, Hop Sing quietly sustains the Ponderosa through skill and devotion. His role highlights the multicultural fabric of the American West: Chinese immigrants, Swedish heritage through Hoss's mother, New England roots via Adam Creole influence on Little Joe, and Ben's own broad experiences. Bonanza used characters like Hop Sing to celebrate diversity within the unity of family, a message that resonated powerfully during an era of social change. Even as external dangers press closer, Hop Sing's light touch continues to shine. His interactions with the sons during moments of worry provide both comic relief and emotional grounding. When the family returns exhausted from searches or confrontations, his grumbling concern masks deep care. The script implies these small domestic moments, preparing meals, offering quiet wisdom in broken English, or maintaining order in the household, become acts of resistance against the chaos threatening their world. In this way, Hop Sing embodies the idea that true strength often lies in quiet consistency rather than dramatic heroics. The writing for Hop Sing is masterful in its economy and charm. His malapropisms and exaggerated reactions never feel stereotypical, but instead affectionate and true to his personality. The transcript's occasional linguistic quirks only enhance the lived-in feeling of these scenes. Whether he is threatening to leave over Ben's yelling or proudly presenting a magnificent roast pig, Hop Sing consistently steals every scene he appears in, not through grand gestures, but through authentic humanity and perfectly timed humor. As the episode moves toward its desert showdown and final confrontations, Hop Sing's presence continues to remind us what the Cartwrights are fighting for. Not just land or timber, but the warm, lively home they have built together. His loyalty is absolute. In a world where opportunists like Burdett betray allies without hesitation, Hop Sing's steadfast devotion stands as a beacon of true friendship and family. The script uses him to balance the darker elements, the kidnapping, the massacre, the threat of war, ensuring the story never loses its heart. In the broader context of Bonanza's legacy, Hop Sing represents the show's commitment to inclusive storytelling. Victor Sen Young's portrayal brought warmth, dignity, and humor to the character, making him far more than sidekick or stereotype. He is an essential part of the Ponderosa family, contributing to its unique flavor and emotional depth. This episode demonstrates how even in the middle of high-stakes drama, moments of domestic comedy, centered on Hop Sing, reinforce the series' core message. Family, in all its diverse and sometimes chaotic glory, is the greatest treasure of all. The contrast between Hop Sing's world and the scheming in Virginia City could not be more striking. While mining barons count their potential profits in timber and silver, Hop Sing measures wealth in the satisfaction of feeding hungry men and maintaining harmony in the household. His humor diffuses tension, his loyalty strengthens resolve, and his heart provides comfort when the outside world grows cold and dangerous. Through him, the script gently affirms that civilization and decency can thrive even on the rugged frontier. As danger reaches its peak, with the pursuit of Little Joe and the escalating Paiute crisis, Hop Sing's quiet contributions become even more meaningful. He may not ride out with a gun, but his steadfast presence at home gives the Cartwright men the emotional strength to face whatever lies ahead. The script uses these lighter moments with perfect timing, ensuring the audience remains engaged and hopeful, even during the story's darkest turns. Hop Sing's heart and humor are not distractions from the main plot, but vital threads that enrich the entire tapestry. They remind us that Bonanza was always more than shootouts and dramatic rescues. It was about the people who made the West feel like home. In an episode filled with deception, violence, and moral dilemmas, Hop Sing stands as a testament to loyalty, resilience, and the healing power of laughter. His presence ensures that no matter how fierce the storm, the light of the Ponderosa hearth continues to burn brightly. By weaving Hop Sing's comedic and heartfelt moments throughout the growing danger, the script achieves a masterful emotional balance. We laugh with him, we feel his devotion, and we understand more deeply why the Cartwrights fight so hard to preserve their way of life. As the episode hurtles toward its desert climax, Hop Sing remains the warm, steadfast center around which the family revolves, a beloved guardian of both stomach and spirit. At the very core of this episode, and indeed of the entire Bonanza legacy, beats the unwavering moral compass known as the Cartwright Code. This unwritten yet ironclad set of principles, honor above profit, justice above convenience, and the defense of what is right, no matter the cost, defines every action taken by Ben Cartwright and his sons. In Part 10 of our exploration, the script brings this code into sharp, inspiring focus as the family confronts layered threats from deceptive actresses, ruthless mining barons, manipulated Paiute tensions, and the dark ambition of Mark Burdett. Through their responses, the episode delivers a powerful affirmation of Western values that transcend mere entertainment and speak to the enduring American ideals of integrity and courage. Ben Cartwright stands as the living embodiment of this code, from the earliest scenes where he gently but firmly guides his sons through brotherly conflicts to his furious yet controlled confrontation in Virginia City. Ben consistently chooses the harder right over the easier wrong. When Little Joe is taken hostage, Ben does not negotiate with the kidnappers or offer timber in exchange for his son's safety. Instead, he demands justice with the thunderous declaration that no price can be placed on a Cartwright life. His willingness to risk everything for his youngest son reveals the depth of paternal love fused with unyielding principle. In an era when many Western heroes relied on swift gunplay, Ben's strength lies in his moral authority and strategic wisdom qualities that command respect even from his enemies. The Cartwright sons each interpret and uphold the family code in their own distinctive ways, creating a harmonious yet dynamic whole. Adam, with his intellectual rigor and New England sense of order, serves as the voice of reason and long-term thinking. His caution regarding Lotta Crabtree and his quick assessment of Mark Burdett's true nature demonstrate a mind sharpened by education and experience. Hoss, the gentle giant, embodies the compassionate heart of the code. His instinctive sympathy for the Paiute's hunger and his protective loyalty toward his brothers reveal a man whose immense physical strength is always tempered by kindness and fairness. Little Joe, though impulsive and occasionally led astray by his romantic spirit, ultimately proves his commitment to the code through courage and remorse. Even after falling into the trap, he shows chivalry toward Lotta and determination to make things right. The script masterfully illustrates how the Cartwright Code operates under pressure. When facing Alpheus Troy and the mining interests, the family refuses to compromise their principles for profit. Ben's sacred regard for the trees on the Ponderosa is not mere sentimentality, but a profound understanding of stewardship. The belief that the land must be preserved for future generations rather than stripped for short-term gain. This stance directly opposes the Baron's view that everything, including human lives and natural resources, has a monetary price. The episode uses these conflicts to explore one of its richest themes, the eternal struggle between honor and expediency. Particularly moving is the family's response to the Paiute situation. Rather than reacting with anger when Tukwa takes cattle out of desperation, Ben chooses understanding and alliance. He recognizes the broader injustice caused by overhunting and environmental destruction, promising to intervene with the miners. This diplomatic approach, rooted in respect and justice, exemplifies the Cartwright Code at its finest. In a time when many frontier stories defaulted to conflict with Native Americans, Bonanza consistently advocated for peaceful coexistence and mutual understanding. The respectful council scenes with Winnemucca highlight Ben's role as a bridge between cultures, guided by wisdom rather than prejudice. The confrontation with Mark Burdett further tests and affirms the family's principles. When Burdett offers top dollar for cattle while exploiting the miners' hunger, Ben and his sons reject the deal outright. They choose to sell beef directly at fair prices rather than participate in profiteering. This decision carries real risk, as it places them in opposition to a dangerous man. Yet they stand firm. The script shows that true honor often demands sacrifice. Adam's instincts, Hoss's quiet strength, and Little Joe's passionate defense of the Paiutes all flow from the same moral source. Together, they form an unbreakable unit, committed to justice even when it would be easier to look the other way. Throughout these trials, the Cartwright Code reveals itself as more than a set of rules. It is a lived philosophy that shapes every decision. When Little Joe is rescued and the family pursues the truth behind the massacre, their actions are driven not by vengeance, but by the pursuit of justice. They seek to protect the innocent, clear the name of their Paiute friend Tukwa, and restore balance to the region. This commitment to truth and fairness stands in stark contrast to Burdett's web of lies and manipulation. The episode uses these character choices to deliver a timeless message. Character is revealed not in times of ease, but in moments of moral crisis. In the historical context of 1960s television, the Cartwright Code carried significant cultural weight. As America grappled with questions of civil rights, environmental awareness, and corporate ethics, Bonanza offered a compelling vision of principled leadership. Ben Cartwright became a father figure for a generation, modeling the kind of strength that comes from moral clarity rather than brute force. The show's emphasis on family loyalty, respect for the land, and justice for all people resonated deeply with audiences seeking stability and values amid rapid social change. The writing shines in how it makes the code feel organic rather than didactic. We see it in action through small gestures and major decisions alike. Ben's patient mediation of brotherly fights, the family's collective search for Little Joe, their fair dealing with settlers, and their willingness to risk personal safety to protect the Paiutes. These moments accumulate into a powerful portrait of men who live by their principles. The script's seamless blending of personal stakes with broader ethical dilemmas, creates an emotionally satisfying narrative that rewards close attention. Even in the face of danger, whether confronting hired gunmen in a hotel room or riding into uncertain territory to prevent war, the Cartwrights remain guided by honor. Little Joe's growth after his ordeal, Adam's strategic support, Hoss's steadfast presence, and Ben's overarching wisdom demonstrate how the code strengthens rather than restricts them. It transforms potential tragedy into opportunities for courage and redemption. The beauty of the Cartwright Code lies in its humanity. The family is not portrayed as perfect. They argue, make mistakes, and feel the weight of difficult choices, yet their commitment to doing what is right ultimately prevails. This realistic depiction makes their moral victories all the more inspiring. The script invites us to reflect on our own principles and the courage required to uphold them when tested. As the episode builds toward its desert showdown and final resolutions, the Cartwright Code stands as the beacon guiding every heroic action. It is the reason the Ponderosa remains a symbol of hope and integrity amid the chaos of Virginia City. Through Ben and his sons, the story celebrates the quiet power of honor, the necessity of justice, and the enduring importance of defending what is right. In doing so, it reminds us why Bonanza continues to resonate more than 6 decades later, because the values it champions are timeless, and the characters who live by them feel like old friends whose example still matters. The Cartwright Code is not merely a plot device, but the soul of the series. It transforms a tale of kidnapping, greed, and conflict into a profound meditation on what it means to live with integrity in a flawed world. As we watch the family navigate these storms, we are reminded that true strength flows from the heart and conscience, not from silver veins or political power. This is the enduring gift of Bonanza, a vision of the American West where honor still reigns supreme. As the shadows of conspiracy lengthen across the Comstock, the script masterfully escalates the drama by shifting focus to the powder keg atmosphere of Virginia City itself. Part 11 crackles with barely contained hostility as the town teeters on the edge of open conflict between miners, ranchers, and the Paiute people. The writers of Bonanza demonstrate their command of ensemble storytelling here, transforming the boomtown into a living, breathing character, a place where dreams of silver have soured into desperation, fear, and simmering violence. This section stands as a masterful study in how greed and misinformation can fracture a community, while the Cartwrights strive to hold the fragile piece together. The tension erupts most viscerally in the streets and saloons of Virginia City. After the staged massacre, word spreads like wildfire that Paiutes have murdered miners who purchased cattle from the Ponderosa. The script captures the raw emotion of a town gripped by grief and anger. Miners already hardened by backbreaking labor and disappointed hopes gather in furious knots, calling for revenge. The near hanging of Little Joe becomes one of the episode's most intense and emotionally charged sequences. Accused of siding with the Paiutes, the youngest Cartwright is dragged into the street, beaten and nearly lynched by a mob. The rough transcript vividly conveys the chaos shouts of engine lover and demands for a rope, creating a palpable sense of danger that makes the heart race even on the page. What makes this moment so powerful is Little Joe's courage under fire. Despite being outnumbered and bloodied, he refuses to abandon his principles or his friendship with the Paiutes. His defense of Tukwa's character, even as fists fly and a noose threatens, exemplifies the fiery spirit that defines him. The intervention by Mark Burdett, who saves Little Joe while secretly pulling the strings behind the violence, adds a layer of chilling irony. Burdett plays the role of hero to the crowd while advancing his own dark agenda, highlighting the deceptive nature of opportunists who thrive on division. The script uses this scene to expose how easily fear can override reason in a frontier town fueled by rumor and hardship. Parallel to the street violence, the script deepens the human cost through the Harris family. The surviving miner Harris, wounded and haunted, lies staring at the ceiling while his wife and young sons struggle to survive. The Cartwrights' visit to their modest home is quietly devastating. Ben and his sons witness firsthand the suffering caused by both the massacre and the inflated prices of basic necessities. Their offer to sell cattle at fair prices represents a beacon of decency amid the chaos, yet it further enrages Burdett, who sees honest competition as a mortal threat. These domestic scenes ground the larger social conflict in personal tragedy, reminding us that behind every mob and every rumor are real families trying to endure. The rising hostility between miners and ranchers is portrayed with nuance and historical authenticity. Virginia City, in the grip of the silver boom, has drawn thousands, seeking fortune only to find harsh realities instead. The script illustrates how economic pressures, scarce game, expensive food, and dashed dreams turn neighbors into adversaries. Miners resent the ranchers' seemingly abundant resources, while the Cartwrights and other settlers grow wary of the town's volatility. Into this volatile mix, Burdett pours fuel by framing the Paiutes and positioning himself as the only reliable supplier. His manipulation of public sentiment is diabolically effective, turning legitimate grief into blind rage directed at the wrong targets. Adams' solo investigation into Virginia City adds another layer of suspense and intelligence to the narrative. Moving carefully through the town, he gathers fragments of truth while avoiding the notice of the inflamed populace. His conversations and observations reinforce the family's commitment to justice over vengeance. Meanwhile, Hoss and Ben coordinate efforts to protect both their people and the Paiutes from escalating violence. The script beautifully balances these individual actions with the larger picture, showing how each Cartwright contributes according to his strengths: Adam's intellect, Hoss's steady presence, Little Joe's passionate defiance, Ben's overarching leadership. Thematically, this section explores the dangerous consequences of division in a frontier society. Bonanza frequently used Virginia City as a microcosm of America itself, where opportunity and lawlessness existed side by side. The rising hostility reflects real historical tensions during the Comstock Lode era, when rapid industrialization and population booms strained social bonds and pitted groups against one another. The episode uses these conflicts to champion unity, understanding, and fair dealing as antidotes to chaos. The Cartwrights consistently model this ideal, refusing to profit from fear or align themselves with Burdett's exploitative practices. One of the most compelling aspects of this sequence is the portrayal of Glory DeLacy and her complicated relationship with Burdett. Caught between affection and moral discomfort, she becomes an unwitting witness to his schemes. Her growing unease humanizes the town's moral gray areas and provides additional emotional texture. The script handles these supporting characters with care, ensuring that even those on the periphery feel authentic and integral to the larger drama. As hostility reaches its peak with passes forming and war talk spreading among the Paiutes, the script builds an almost unbearable sense of impending catastrophe. The town that once represented opportunity now feels like a tinderbox ready to ignite. Through skillful cross-cutting between the Cartwrights' efforts, Burdett's manipulations, and the suffering of both miners and Paiutes, the writers create a rich tapestry of interconnected conflicts. Every decision carries weight. Every act of kindness or cruelty ripples outward, affecting the delicate balance of the entire region. In the context of 1960s television, these scenes carried powerful resonance. Amid national conversations about civil rights, justice, and social responsibility, Bonanza offered stories that encouraged empathy across cultural lines and warned against the dangers of mob mentality. The portrayal of rising hostility in Virginia City served as a cautionary tale about the destructive power of fear and misinformation, themes that remain strikingly relevant today. The sensory atmosphere of these sequences is masterfully evoked. One can almost smell the dust and tension in the air, hear the angry murmurs of the crowd, and feel the oppressive weight of a town on the brink. The dialogue crackles with urgency and raw emotion, from the miner's grief-stricken rage to the Cartwrights' calm but firm calls for reason. This attention to detail creates an immersive experience that draws the audience fully into the world of the story. As Little Joe recovers from his ordeal and the family pieces together the truth about the massacre, the script prepares us for the heroic actions to come. The tension in Virginia City has tested the Cartwrights' resolve like never before, yet they emerge more united and committed to justice. Their refusal to yield to fear or join the cycle of violence reaffirms the moral center of the series. Even as external forces threaten to tear the community apart, the Cartwright Code shines as a guiding light. This section represents Bonanza storytelling at its finest, ambitious in scope, intimate in character, and unflinching in its examination of human nature under pressure. The rising hostility serves not merely as background, but as a crucible that reveals the true character of everyone involved. Through it all, the Cartwrights stand tall, defending not only their family and their land, but the very principles that make civilized life possible on the frontier. The storm in Virginia City has reached its most dangerous intensity yet. In the heart of the chaos, the quiet strength of honor and justice continues to endure. As the episode moves toward its desert pursuit and final reckonings, we are left with a profound appreciation for the Cartwrights' courage and a sobering understanding of how quickly a community can fracture when greed and fear are allowed to reign unchecked. The tension is electric, the stakes deeply personal, and the moral questions profoundly moving. With the conspiracy exposed and the fragile peace of the territory hanging by a thread, the script surges into one of its most thrilling and emotionally charged sequences, the desperate desert pursuit and heroic rescue of Little Joe. This section transforms the story from tense investigation and moral confrontation into pure pulse-pounding Western action, while never losing sight of the deep family bonds and ethical principles that define the Cartwrights. The race across the burning sands of Devil's Gate becomes both a literal chase and a powerful metaphor for the family's unyielding commitment to one another in the face of evil. The pursuit begins with urgent intensity as Ben, Adam, and Hoss coordinate their efforts after extracting critical information from Troy. Ben's paternal fury, held in check by hard-won wisdom, drives the family forward. They move with military precision, Adam rallying settlers, Hoss providing his immense strength and steady presence, and Ben leading with the quiet authority of a man who has faced countless dangers. Little Joe, held captive and later freed in the chaotic hotel confrontation, finds himself caught in the crossfire as the villains attempt to spirit him away into the unforgiving desert. The script captures the raw urgency of the moment, horses thundering across the landscape, dust clouds rising behind them, and the relentless Nevada sun beating down on riders pushed to their physical and emotional limits. The desert itself becomes a formidable antagonist in this sequence. Devil's Gate, described as the hottest and driest strip of territory in Nevada, tests every participant. The script paints vivid sensory details, the shimmering heat waves rising from the sand, the parched throats of men and horses, the merciless glare of the sun, and the vast empty horizon that can swallow hope as easily as it does water. Against this brutal backdrop, the Cartwrights demonstrate extraordinary resilience and teamwork. Little Joe, riding double and exhausted from his ordeal, still finds the spirit to fight and contribute. Adam's tactical mind helps them cut off escape routes, while Hoss's raw power and gentle determination provide both muscle and emotional support. Ben, ever the anchor, rides with the single-minded purpose of a father who will not rest until his son is safe. The pursuit reaches its climax near the abandoned line shack beyond Devil's Gate. Here the script delivers a masterful confrontation involving Thorne Burdett and the saloon woman Glory DeLacy. Thorne Burdett's ruthless enforcer has taken Glory hostage as leverage, planning to abandon her in the desert without water. The writing heightens the drama through sharp dialogue and moral showdowns. Glory, who has grown disillusioned with Burdett's true nature, becomes an unlikely ally in the struggle. Her courage in the face of danger adds emotional depth, transforming her from a supporting character into a figure of quiet heroism. The tense standoff, with guns drawn and lives hanging in the balance, showcases the script's ability to blend action with character revelation. What makes this rescue sequence truly special is how it reaffirms the Cartwright family dynamic under extreme pressure. Little Joe's earlier mistakes, his trusting nature that led him into Lotta's trap, are redeemed through his bravery in the desert. He refuses to abandon Glory and fights alongside his family with the fiery spirit that defines him. Adam's cool-headed strategy prevents chaos from overwhelming them, while Hoss's physical presence and heartfelt loyalty provide the backbone for the rescue. Ben's leadership shines brightest here. His calm commands and willingness to put himself in harm's way embody the patriarchal strength that has guided the Ponderosa through countless crises. The brothers' seamless coordination, cutting around hills, plugging escape routes, and closing in on the villains, feels earned through the deep bonds established earlier in the episode. The moral dimension remains front and center, even amid the gunfire and pursuit. Burdett's willingness to sacrifice Glory to save himself reveals the hollow core of his ambition. In contrast, the Cartwrights risk everything to save not only their own, but an innocent woman caught in the web of greed. This choice highlights the central theme of the episode. True honor demands protecting the vulnerable, not exploiting them. The script uses the desert as a purifying crucible, where character is tested and true values are revealed under the harshest conditions. The action is gripping without becoming gratuitous. The horseback chases, the tactical maneuvers around Devil's Gate, and the final confrontation are rendered with cinematic clarity. One can feel the pounding of hooves, the tension of drawn revolvers, and the relief when the family finally prevails. Thorne's betrayal of Burdett and the latter's desperate attempts to maintain control add layers of dramatic irony and poetic justice. By the time the dust settles, the villains have been defeated not merely by superior force, but by the moral superiority and unity of the Cartwrights. In the broader historical and thematic context of 1960s television westerns, this desert rescue sequence exemplifies Bonanza's signature blend of action and heart. While many contemporary shows relied heavily on gunfights for excitement, Bonanza consistently grounded its thrills in character and principle. The pursuit of Little Joe becomes more than a rescue mission. It is a reaffirmation of family loyalty, justice, and the willingness to ride into danger for what is right. The vast, unforgiving desert serves as a perfect stage for these values, stripping away pretense and revealing the essential character of each man. The emotional payoff is deeply satisfying. Little Joe's reunion with his father and brothers carries the weight of shared ordeal and renewed appreciation for one another. Glory's rescue and her quiet conversation with the family afterward provide a moment of humanity and reflection amid the action. The script allows breathing room for these tender beats, ensuring the sequence resonates on multiple levels rather than existing solely for spectacle. As the sun begins to set over the desert and the Cartwrights turn their horses homeward, the successful rescue marks a turning point in the episode. The immediate threat to Little Joe has been neutralized, but the larger consequences, the manipulated tensions with the Paiutes, and the damage caused by Burdett's schemes still demand resolution. This sequence serves as both climax and bridge, propelling the story toward its final moral reckonings while delivering the thrilling Western action audiences craved. The desert pursuit and heroic rescue represent Bonanza at its most dynamic and emotionally engaging. Through vivid storytelling, impeccable pacing, and profound character work, the script transforms a dangerous chase into a celebration of family unity, moral courage, and the enduring power of doing what is right. The Cartwrights ride not just to save one of their own, but to defend the principles that make the Ponderosa and the American West worth fighting for. In the blazing heat of Devil's Gate, honor triumphs over greed, loyalty conquers betrayal, and the unbreakable bond of family emerges stronger than ever. This sequence remains one of the episode's crowning achievements, blending high-stakes action with heartfelt drama in a way that few television westerns have ever matched. As the riders head back toward the safety of the Ponderosa, we feel not only relief, but profound admiration for the men who refuse to abandon their own or their values, no matter how harsh the wilderness or how ruthless their enemies. In the blazing heart of the Nevada desert, where the merciless sun turns the earth into a furnace and every shadow hides danger, the script delivers its most explosive and cathartic climax, the showdown at Devil's Gate. This sequence represents the ultimate collision of all the episode's conflicting forces: family loyalty against ruthless ambition, honor against betrayal, and justice against the corrosive power of greed. The writers craft a classic Western confrontation that feels both viscerally thrilling and deeply satisfying, bringing together every major thread of the story in a dramatic reckoning that defines not only this episode, but the enduring spirit of Bonanza itself. The pursuit reaches its fever pitch as Ben Cartwright, accompanied by Adam Hoss, and a determined Little Joe close in on the fugitives. The desert landscape around Devil's Gate becomes a character in its own right, an unforgiving expanse of rock, sand, and searing heat that tests the limits of men and horses alike. The script paints the scene with vivid intensity: the relentless glare of the sun, the dry wind whipping across the riders' faces, the labored breathing of exhausted mounts, and the growing sense that this barren ground may soon drink the blood of those who have sown violence. Here, in this desolate place, far from the comforts of the Ponderosa, the final battle for justice unfolds with raw, unflinching power. The confrontation erupts when the Cartwrights corner Thorne and Mark Burdett near the crumbling line shack. Glory DeLacy, held hostage by the desperate Thorne, becomes the human stakes in this deadly game. The dialogue crackles with tension as accusations fly and true natures are revealed. Burdett, once so confident in his schemes, now finds himself betrayed by his own henchmen. Thorne, tired of being used as a disposable tool, turns on his employer with cold calculation. The script masterfully depicts this moment of betrayal as the inevitable consequence of a life built on manipulation. When greed is the only bond, loyalty dissolves at the first sign of trouble. Burdett's fancy clothes and smooth words offer no protection when the desert strips away all pretense. What follows is a gripping sequence of Western justice delivered with moral clarity. The Cartwrights do not seek revenge. They seek resolution. Ben's commanding presence anchors the scene as he demands the release of Glory and accountability for the crimes committed. Little Joe, still bearing the bruises from his ordeal in Virginia City, stands shoulder to shoulder with his brothers, his fiery spirit tempered by the lessons of recent days. Adam's tactical precision and Hoss's immense protective strength create a formidable wall of justice that the villains cannot breach. The gunplay that ensues is sharp and purposeful, not gratuitous violence, but the necessary consequence of men who have chosen the path of evil, confronting those who stand for what is right. The script excels at balancing high-stakes action with profound character moments. Glory's courage shines as she breaks free from her captors, aided by the Cartwrights' timely arrival. Her quiet conversation with the family afterward carries genuine emotional weight, revealing her disillusionment with the false promises of easy wealth. Burdett's final moments are particularly poignant and thematically rich. Mortally wounded, he reflects on his lifelong pursuit of a bonanza, only to realize too late that he found it in death rather than life. The script delivers a powerful irony. The man who came to strike it rich through deceit and murder dies in the very desert he sought to conquer. His last words, acknowledging that some men chase illusions while others build something lasting, serve as a fitting epitaph for the destructive force of unchecked greed. This showdown at Devil's Gate represents the triumph of the Cartwright Code over the forces that threatened to tear apart the territory. Where Alpheus Troy, Lotta, Crabtree, and Mark Burdett relied on deception, kidnapping, and manipulation, the Cartwrights prevailed through unity, courage, and moral conviction. Ben's leadership, forged through years of loss and perseverance, guides his sons to victory, not merely by force of arms, but by the strength of their principles. The family's willingness to risk everything to save both one of their own and an innocent woman underscores the depth of their commitment to justice and compassion. In the broader context of 1960s television westerns, this sequence exemplifies why Bonanza stood head and shoulders above many of its contemporaries. While other shows often glorified violence for its own sake, Bonanza consistently framed action within a moral framework. The showdown at Devil's Gate is not just about who draws faster, it is about why men fight and what they fight for. The episode uses this climactic confrontation to reaffirm core American Western values: the defense of the innocent, the importance of family bonds, and the belief that justice, though sometimes delayed, ultimately prevails. The environmental setting enhances the thematic resonance. The harsh, unforgiving desert becomes a metaphor for the moral wasteland created by greed. Only those grounded in honor and family can survive its trials. As the dust settles and the Cartwrights stand victorious, the script allows a moment of reflection. The vast sky above Devil's Gate seems to stretch endlessly, reminding us of the timeless struggle between good and evil that has played out across the American West for generations. Little Joe's growth throughout the episode reaches its fulfillment here. Having learned the painful cost of naivety and the importance of discernment, he fights alongside his family with renewed maturity and gratitude. Adam's intellect and Hoss's steadfast heart complete the family's strength, proving once again that the Cartwrights are greater than the sum of their parts. Ben, watching over his sons with quiet pride, even amid the chaos, embodies the patriarchal wisdom that has sustained them through every storm. The resolution of the showdown brings a profound sense of catharsis. Thorne and Burdett's defeat not only saves Glory, but also begins to heal the wounds inflicted on the Paiutes and the miners. The script hints at the larger restoration of balance that will follow tensions, eased truth revealed, and the possibility of peace between the various groups in the territory. This is Bonanza storytelling at its most satisfying: personal victories that ripple outward to benefit the wider community. The writing in this sequence demonstrates exceptional craftsmanship. The pacing is relentless, yet controlled, the action vivid and cinematic, and the emotional undercurrents deeply felt. One can almost hear the stirring orchestral score swelling during the final moments, the horses' hooves thundering across the sand, and the sharp reports of gunfire echoing off the rocks. the dialogue remains authentic to the characters. Ben's measured authority, Adam's precision, Hoss's quiet determination, and Little Joe's passionate resolve all shine through. As the Cartwrights turn their horses toward home, carrying the rescued glory with them, the desert seems to breathe a sigh of relief. The showdown at Devil's Gate has restored a measure of justice to a troubled land. Greed has been confronted and defeated, betrayal has consumed its practitioners, and the enduring power of family loyalty has once again prevailed. This climactic sequence stands as a testament to the timeless appeal of Western justice done right, not through vengeance, but through courage, unity, and unwavering commitment to what is honorable. In reflecting on this powerful chapter, one cannot help but feel the deep satisfaction that comes from seeing good men triumph over darkness. The script has brought every major conflict to a meaningful resolution, while leaving room for the larger healing that must follow. The Ponderosa, that 1,000 square miles of heaven on earth, awaits their return, its legacy strengthened by the trials it has endured. Through the fires of Devil's Gate, the Cartwrights have reaffirmed that some things, honor, justice, and family, are worth any price. This showdown is more than the climax of a single episode. It is the embodiment of everything Bonanza stood for, the belief that in the American West, and in life itself, character and conviction ultimately determine victory. As the sun begins its slow descent and the riders disappear into the distance, we are left with a profound appreciation for the heroes who ride not for glory or gold, but for the timeless values that make a house, a home, and a ranch. Legacy. Few television families in the history of American entertainment have achieved the legendary status of the Cartwrights, and this episode showcases why their individual brilliance and collective strength continue to captivate audiences more than 6 decades later. In Part 14, we turn our attention to the masterful character work that forms the true heart of the story. Ben, Adam, Hoss, and Little Joe are not merely heroes riding across the screen, they are richly drawn, multifaceted men whose distinct personalities, flaws, and virtues create a family dynamic that feels profoundly real and eternally inspiring. The script allows each Cartwright to shine in his own way, while demonstrating how their differences make them unbreakable when united. Ben Cartwright stands as the towering moral and emotional center of the episode. Portrayed with gravitas and quiet authority, Ben is the patriarch who has known profound loss, 3 wives buried, yet has channeled that sorrow into building a legacy of honor and compassion. His fury when Little Joe is taken is visceral and deeply paternal, yet it is always tempered by wisdom and strategic thinking. Whether mediating the early fight between Adam and Little Joe, extending hospitality to the mysterious Lotta Crabtree, negotiating with Winnemucca and the Paiutes, or leading the desperate desert pursuit, Ben consistently chooses the path of justice over vengeance and understanding over hatred. His sacred regard for the land, his refusal to sell timber even under threat, and his willingness to risk everything for his son embody the ideal of principled leadership. Ben does not rule through fear or dominance, but through earned respect and unwavering example. He is the anchor that holds the Ponderosa and his family steady through every storm. Adam, the eldest son, brings intellectual depth and cool-headed pragmatism to the family. Shaped by his New England roots, Adam serves as the voice of reason and long-term vision. His initial skepticism toward Little Joe's responsibilities, his wariness of Lotta Crabtree, and his sharp assessment of Mark Burdett's true character demonstrate a mind that cuts through deception with clarity. In the rescue sequences, Adam's tactical thinking, coordinating riders, cutting off escape routes, and analyzing evidence proves invaluable. Yet he is never cold or detached. His concern for his younger brother and his loyalty to his father reveal a man of deep feeling beneath the disciplined exterior. Adam represents the thoughtful, educated side of frontier manhood, proving that strength of mind is every bit as vital as strength of body in the American West. Hoss, the gentle giant, whose massive frame hides an even larger heart, provides the emotional and physical foundation of the family. Often the mediator in brotherly disputes, Hoss offers comic relief and steadfast support throughout the episode. His Swedish heritage and stories of his formidable mother add rich layers to his character. In moments of crisis, Hoss's immense strength is matched only by his compassion, whether defending the Paiutes' desperate actions, protecting his family in the desert, or offering quiet encouragement to those around him. He is the bridge between Adam's intellect and Little Joe's passion. the one whose kindness often soothes tensions and whose loyalty never wavers. Hoss embodies the idea that true power lies in restraint and that gentleness can be the greatest form of strength. Little Joe, the youngest and most impulsive of the brothers, brings fiery spirit, romantic charm, and youthful energy to the Cartwright legacy. His New Orleans heritage from his mother, Felicia, infuses him with passion and charisma that sometimes leads him into trouble, as seen in his swift infatuation with Lotta Crabtree. Yet this episode beautifully charts his growth, from the early brotherly fights and his naive trust in the actress, through his ordeal as a hostage and subsequent beating in Virginia City, to his courageous actions in the Desert Rescue. Little Joe matures before our eyes. He learns the cost of impulsiveness while reaffirming his core values of loyalty and bravery. His willingness to fight for what is right, even after being deceived, and his chivalrous concern for Glory Delacy demonstrate a young man coming into his own as a true Cartwright. The brilliance of the script lies in how these four distinct personalities complement and elevate one another. Their early conflicts, particularly the heated fight between Adam and Little Joe, are not weaknesses, but proof of their strong individual wills. When real danger arrives, these differences become their greatest asset. Ben's wisdom guides them, Adam's intellect plans their moves, Hoss's strength and heart sustain them, and Little Joe's courage adds the spark that drives them forward. Together they form a perfect whole, a family whose bond is tested by deception, greed, and violence, yet emerges stronger and more united. Throughout the episode, each character faces personal trials that reveal their depth. Ben confronts the helplessness of a father whose child is in danger. Adam must trust instincts that others doubt. Hoss witnesses injustice and chooses empathy over anger. Little Joe learns the painful difference between infatuation and genuine connection. These individual journeys, woven seamlessly into the larger plot, give the story its emotional resonance and prevent it from becoming mere action-adventure. In the historical and cultural context of 1960s television, the Cartwright family represented an idealized, yet believable vision of American manhood and family values. At a time of rapid social change, Ben and his sons offered stability, moral clarity, and mutual respect. Their multicultural background, New England Swedish Creole, and Ben's own broad experience, mirrored the melting pot ideal of the nation itself. The script's respectful treatment of the Paiutes and its critique of unchecked greed further demonstrate the show's progressive spirit within the Western genre. The performances implied by the script are masterful. Each actor brings nuance and authenticity to his role, creating characters who feel like real breathing people rather than archetypes. The chemistry between them, the banter, the shared glances, the silent understanding, makes their family bond utterly convincing. Even in the rough transcript, the rhythm of their dialogue and the emotional undercurrents shine through clearly. The enduring strength of Ben Adam Hoss and Little Joe lies not in their invincibility, but in their humanity. They argue, make mistakes, feel fear and anger, yet they always return to the core values that define them. This episode showcases their brilliance not through superhuman feats, but through steadfast commitment to honor, justice, and one another. In a world increasingly driven by self-interest, the Cartwrights remind us of the power of family unity and moral courage. As the dust settles after the desert showdown, the full measure of their character becomes clear. They have protected the innocent, defended the land, upheld justice, and preserved the legacy of the Ponderosa. Their individual strengths, wisdom, intellect, compassion, and spirit have combined to overcome formidable adversaries. This is the magic of the Cartwright family, four very different men, who together represent the best of what the American West and the human spirit can offer. The character brilliance displayed in this episode is what has kept Bonanza alive in the hearts of viewers for generations. Ben, Adam Hoss, and Little Joe are not distant legends, but beloved friends whose struggles and triumphs feel timeless. Through them, the script delivers not only entertainment but inspiration. A reminder that true strength comes from character, that family is the greatest treasure, and that honor remains the ultimate measure of a man. In the golden light of the setting sun over the Ponderosa, the Cartwrights ride home together, their bond deepened by shared trials and reaffirmed by shared victory. Their enduring strength continues to shine as brightly today as it did in the golden age of television, offering hope and moral clarity to every generation fortunate enough to ride alongside them. As the dust settles over Devil's Gate, and the Cartwrights ride homeward beneath the vast Nevada sky, we come to the end of a truly memorable episode that exemplifies everything that made Bonanza one of the greatest television westerns ever created. This final part reflects on the enduring power of the series and why this particular story, with its intricate blend of family drama, moral courage, Western action and social commentary, continues to capture the American soul more than 6 decades after it first aired. In an age of fleeting entertainment, Bonanza remains a beacon of timeless values, and this episode stands as a shining example of its lasting artistic and cultural significance. At its heart, Bonanza was never merely about cowboys, gunfights, or silver strikes. It was about people, complex, principled, and profoundly human, trying to build something meaningful in a harsh and rapidly changing world. This episode weaves together multiple conflicts with remarkable skill: the personal danger to Little Joe through Lotta Crabtree's deception, the ruthless schemes of Alpheus Troy and the mining barons, the tragic tensions with the Paiute people, and the dark manipulations of Mark Burdett. Yet through every thread runs the unifying force of the Cartwright family and their steadfast commitment to honor, justice, and stewardship of the land. The 1,000 square miles of the Ponderosa are more than a ranch. They represent an ideal, a place where integrity still matters, where family stands unbreakable, and where greed is ultimately answered by moral courage. The brilliance of the episode lies in its perfect balance. It delivers thrilling action and suspense in the desert pursuit and showdown at Devil's Gate, yet never sacrifices character depth or thematic richness. We laugh with Hop Sing's fiery humor, feel the tension of brotherly conflicts, ache at the suffering of the Paiutes, and cheer when justice prevails. This tonal mastery is what set Bonanza apart in the 1960s and continues to distinguish it today. While other westerns often relied on formulaic plots or relentless violence, Bonanza used the genre as a canvas to explore universal human questions. What does it mean to be a good father? How do we balance progress with respect for the land and its original inhabitants? When does ambition cross into destructive greed? These questions remain as relevant now as they were then. The character work remains the episode's greatest triumph. Ben Cartwright, with his hard-earned wisdom and unshakable moral compass, serves as the spiritual father not only to his sons, but to the entire series. Adam's intellect, Hoss's gentle strength, and Little Joe's passionate spirit create a family that feels authentic in its imperfections and inspiring in its unity. Their interactions, from early ranch life and brotherly fights to the desperate rescue in the desert, remind us that true strength emerges from diversity and mutual respect. Supporting characters like Hop Sing Winnemucca and even the conflicted Lotta Crabtree and Glory DeLacy add richness and humanity, preventing the story from becoming a simple morality tale. Thematically, the episode offers a profound meditation on greed versus honor, exploitation versus stewardship, and division versus community. The mining baron's hunger for timber, Burdett's ruthless profiteering, and the environmental pressures on the Paiutes all illustrate the real human and ecological costs of unchecked ambition. In contrast, the Cartwrights model a better way: fair dealing, compassion for those in need, respect for native peoples, and a deep reverence for the land that sustains them. These messages, delivered without preachiness, through compelling drama and character action, gave Bonanza its soul and continue to resonate in our modern world of environmental challenges and economic inequality. Historically, Bonanza arrived at a pivotal moment in American television and society. Premiering in the late 1950s and dominating the 1960s, it offered reassurance and moral clarity during a time of tremendous change. Its respectful portrayal of the Paiutes, its critique of exploitative capitalism, and its celebration of multicultural family bonds were progressive for the era while remaining true to the Western genre's mythic traditions. This episode, with its nuanced handling of cultural conflict, economic injustice, and environmental themes, exemplifies the show's willingness to tackle serious issues within entertaining stories. It helped shape how millions of viewers understood the American West, not as a lawless frontier of pure violence, but as a complex landscape where honorable men and women struggled to build a better future. The technical and artistic achievements of Bonanza also deserve celebration. The sweeping cinematography of the Ponderosa, the stirring orchestral score, the authentic period dialogue, and the powerful performances all combined to create an immersive world that felt both mythic and intimately human. Even in this rough transcript form, the rhythm and emotional power of the story shine through, a testament to the strength of the original writing and direction. Bonanza did not merely entertain, it transported viewers to a place where values still mattered and heroes earned their status through character rather than celebrity. Why does this episode and the series as a whole continue to capture the American soul? Because it speaks to our deepest aspirations and ideals. In an increasingly fragmented and cynical world, the Cartwrights remind us of the power of family loyalty, the importance of moral courage, and the possibility of building something lasting through honest work and principled living. They show us that strength and compassion are not opposites, but essential companions. They affirm that justice is worth fighting for, that the land deserves respect, and that even in the face of greed and betrayal, goodness can prevail. The Ponderosa itself remains a powerful symbol, 1,000 square miles of heaven that must be defended not just with guns, but with wisdom, unity, and love. As Ben Cartwright surveys his domain in the opening scenes and later leads his sons through fire and desert sand, we see the eternal American dream, the belief that through hard work, moral clarity, and family bonds, we can create something beautiful and enduring. This episode reinforces that dream, while honestly acknowledging its challenges and imperfections. In our current age of rapid technological change and social uncertainty, returning to Bonanza feels like coming home to timeless truths. The series' emphasis on character over spectacle, its moral complexity, and its warm celebration of family continue to offer comfort and inspiration. This particular episode, with its rich tapestry of romance, intrigue, action, and redemption, stands as a near-perfect representation of everything the show achieved at its best. As we conclude this in-depth review, one cannot help but feel profound gratitude for the creators, writers, actors, and crew who brought the Cartwrights and the Ponderosa to life. Their work has enriched millions of lives across generations and continues to do so today. The timeless power of Bonanza lies in its ability to entertain, while uplifting, to thrill, while teaching, and to transport us to a world where honor still reigns and family remains the greatest treasure of all. The story may end with the Cartwrights riding home under the stars, but its spirit lives on in every viewer who feels inspired to live with greater integrity, in every family that finds strength in unity, and in every heart that recognizes the enduring beauty of the American West and the values that define it. This episode is more than a television drama. It is a heartfelt reminder of who we can be at our best. And in that reminder lies its everlasting magic. The mighty Ponderosa stands eternal, the Cartwright legacy endures, and Bonanza, with all its warmth, wisdom, and Western soul, continues to ride proudly across the landscape of American popular culture, a shining example of storytelling that matters, characters who inspire, and ideals that never grow old.